Some technical difficulties. Okay. I think. Can you hear me? I think you can hear me. I'm going to keep speaking as if you can hear me until somebody tell me that they can't. Okay, I think this is better. Happy Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving. If that's your jam. If it's not, happy whatever the hell that you like. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, can you hear me? Can somebody let me know you can hear me okay? Just one person, just some damn body. One in the chat, something. I'm assuming if you still in here, you can hear me. Why this thing won't say? So, how was your Thursday? How was your Thanksgiving? Are y'all Thanksgiving celebrators or not? Are you a holiday enjoyer or not? Are you a family enjoyer or not? What's your jazz? What's your why is this not coming up? Oh, right here. Okay, here. Okay. The topic of discussion. Hold on. Hold on. We're gonna get it right. See, sometimes shit don't go the way, it's not to your preference at the moment. And you gotta turn it into whatever you want to turn into. And not give a damn about it in the meantime, in between time. You see what I'm saying? Tonight, on this lovely evening, we're talking about why are you so unhappy? That's the topic of interest to me right now. Why are so many people unhappy? I saw a post that was circulated and it was like, what is it about this generation? Why are they so unhappy? I don't think it's a this generation thing. I don't even know what generation that refers to. If you refer to this generation, like, is that oh, okay. Okay, you can hear me. So the chat just popped up. I don't know. Hey Keita. Hey Breezy. What's up, buddies? I celebrated and I ate good, had a blast with my family and played games. And see, I like to hear that. If you're gonna do it, do the shit right. Have a good time when you do it. Why else would you do it otherwise? Why would you go to be miserable? Why do adults like I understand kids sometimes don't have another option. Many of us grew up and there were certain things that were not to our preference, right? So you just got to do what you got to do as a kid, right? You got to follow in line. You got to go where your parents take you, got you. But I'm saying as adults, why is it as adults do you do things that you don't want to do and then complain about it? As a key component that's missing. So the first title that I had for this was why aren't holidays hitting the same anymore? Why aren't people enjoying it? Still comes back to that same fundamental question, right? Why people are so miserable? Like what's going on? So some of the comments under this post, so it was like social media is the problem, right? Social media is the problem. Well, I hate the idea that social media and tech is the problem because the thing about it is tech is what allows us to do this right now. Tech is what allows us to connect with people in different cities, states, all over the world. And truth be told, before we had this, motherfuckers were still unhappy. So it's gotta be something else. It's all about how you use it, correct? Right? But it's gotta be something like what is this? What does unhappy mean? Like just you can say that it's people looking at let's talk about this, right? The idea that because people are looking at how other people live is causing them to be unhappy. I get what you mean by that, right? That the attention on What you don't have could have the tendency to, you'll lose sight of what you do have. I got that. I got that. I got that. I got that. I can understand that. However, if I'm settled in who I am as a being, right, and I'm living a life that's true to me, it really don't matter. Like if there are people right now that are living farm life, they're doing homesteading, that's their thing. They can go online and see people living in the suburbs. They can see people living in the city. They can see people living in mansions, and it has no effect on them because they ain't got no deeper desire for that. They're already well established in who they are and what it is they're doing. So to just say that alone, just because people are seeing things, it's got to be more to it than that. Why is it that you desire more? I don't like the idea that desire is the problem. All of life is a desire. What do you have outside of desire? Everything you do is about desire. You get up and carry your funky ass to work, right? At a job that many people don't like, that's not making as much money as most people feel they're worth. Why? Because you desire to take care of yourself. You desire to buy things. You desire to live a certain way. You desire to take care of your family. Everything. What isn't a desire? A food preference, desire. Goals, desire. A partner preference, desire. Everything is a desire. That's the divine seeking expression through man. So we come back to the question, why are people so unhappy? Why are people miserable during the holiday times? Why are people subjecting themselves year after year, right? Why do you go be around your family who you know disrespects you, who you know disturbs your spirit? Why do you do it? And I came up with a list, right? As I was pondering over, like, what's at the root of this thing? Like, why don't I participate in things anymore? Because I like to put myself on a hot seat, right? Make it about me. Why don't I do certain things? Because I started to notice things don't feel the same. Things don't. I like people who say, "Listen, I don't know what y'all talk about. Me and my family are good." I think that's great. I salute that. That ain't what I'm talking about right now. I ain't talking about you. Right? That's good. I think keep being an example of that because we need to see it. I'm talking about the people who know I no longer fit into this thing here. Or maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know. Maybe that's what this discussion is about. Why your ass is unhappy. Unhappiness by itself is a sign that change is needed. That's it. Unhappiness is a sign that something needs to change. And I was listening to this, I think it was Gary Vee. He was doing some call-ins, and the young lady said, I'm 30 some years old, living with my parents. Got an okay job, unfulfilled, don't really know where my life is going. And I'm in she didn't say toxic, but she said I'm in I don't know how she phrased it, something like a not good relationship, right? And she wanted some advice. Now, when you listen to that, what advice could you need? You just outlined the fucking problem. The life that you're living is the problem. And that's essentially what Gary was like, bruh, leave, move out, move out. Okay. In the relationship. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we really talking about when it comes to being unhappy? If you're unhappy with your current conditions, then that's the sign that something must change. If you can no longer fit into the world that was given to you, it's your sign that you must create the world that you like, that fits your desires. What are we talking about? Maybe it don't feel the same because something is missing. Now, some of the conversations I've seen is about the matriarch of the family dying. That once the matriarch dies, the family dies with it. The matriarch has been, our grandmothers were the glue. And no matter what drama went on in the family, grandma was going to make sure, right, that everybody was coming together. And out of the respect and the love for grandmother, most of the time, everybody will put their differences aside. So whether it was for Thanksgiving, whether it's for Christmas, whether it's for any other holiday, birthday, people will put their shit aside for the sake of grandma. And once grandma passes, it's like it's a fucking attitude. Why is that though? What was it that was the glue? What is it that the matriarch can leave her recipes, right, down to the very just details, just specific, like do exactly this, just a pinch of that, and nobody can make it taste like that? What's missing? Well, it's her, Rook. No, 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 no. What's actually missing? What leaves? What is the glue? The glue is the love and the intention. That's why the holidays don't feel the same. The love and the intention ain't there. Those who can notice that, those those are the outliers. That's why it could be your whole family there and everybody's still doing the same thing, but you are the one who's sitting and noticing and seeing that this ain't it. I don't feel nothing. I don't get something I want to get. And if you bring it up to somebody, their thing is, what you talking about? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's kind of a little different, but it's like, what is your problem? Like, why are you complaining? Yet you're deeply unhappy, deeply, and you question it, right? What I found what people struggle the most, because I'm really trying to figure out. I don't know which one is worse now. I don't know if religion is worse or if spirituality is worse, because they both end up becoming a trap for people. And like it's like you come out of one prison and then put yourself in another, because stepping outside of what they gave you, right? So what the world gave you, what your parents gave you, what the church gave you, what the school gave you, all right, got it. Then you step out of that and then step into what you gave yourself, because so there's a whole other prison that you put yourself in. This is what I supposed to do to be a good person. This is what I'm supposed to do to be an honorable woman and an honorable man and a good daughter and a good son. These are the things that I'm supposed to do. And if I don't do those things, then, so we subject ourselves to environments that we know we've outgrown, because that's the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. Why are we being a part of things that are being done without love and intention? Like, why are you feeding dead things? Is the question. That is what's missing. We can make the same meals, they don't taste the same. You can have damn near the same people there doing damn near the same things, they don't feel the same. Why? Why is that? Yeah, you ask yourself that question. Maybe it's time for a change. I think life comes down to people are here to do one of two things. You're either here to maintain the old or you're here to usher in the new. And it takes a certain level of courage and boldness and knowing of self to step out. Like, yeah, I know we all talk it. I know we talk it, but I'm talking about to actually do it. So why do people, what's the reason behind this? It's one word, right? It's fear. It's fear. Fear. One, I fear not being a part of something. I think that becomes the danger with trying to take people's God, right? You can't take people's God without replacing it with something. When you take people's vices without replacing it with something. When you take their entertainment without replacing it with something, it becomes it gets very interesting. But there's a fear of not being a part of something. So I'll be a part of some shit just to be a part of something. I'll be around some shitty people just to be a part of something. Although I feel miserable when I am, although I'm unhappy, although I constantly feel a need and a desire to do more. Like people are literally walking dead. It's like a shell and it's just emptiness. The second fear is the fear of mortality. That's why people will continue to do whatever it is that we call this coming together is. I'll go and see. We need to go and see Uncle Bobo because he ain't got much. He ain't got much longer. We got to go see Grandma Sharon because we don't know. She getting older. Somebody broke this thing down. They were like, my parents are 70. I think they said my parents are 70. So if they only live to 85, I've calculated that if I only see them during the holidays, I will only see them 15 more times. Right. And he was breaking down how this just gave him like a whole new perspective on time and I get it. It makes sense, right? But I don't want you to come see me because you fear me dying. I don't want you to see me for that reason. I don't want to visit you for that reason. Why does it's like death drives people and not life. Like why don't life move you in such a way? There's a part of me that kind of wishes some fear did impact me just a little bit now, just a tad, because it doesn't. Like the idea of death, like, so what? If today is the last day, so what? And now what do I do now? What I mean, what? If you only had 24 hours to live, okay, what would you do? The same shit I'm doing right now. Exact same shit. Well, who would you call? Whoever I called today. If I didn't call nobody, then I wouldn't today. I just like, why is fear? Like, why is death and mortality? Like, it's like the fear of loss. I get it. I understand why people take that perspective. I just can't relate to it. Like, I don't want you to see me for that reason. I don't want you to see me because you fear losing me. No, I don't want you to see me for that reason. Is that that's why you see me? Because I might die soon. Like that's the driver. Like the life of me is not enough. Like my presence is not enough. Like the exchange that we have when we're together is not enough. Like us, damn, just don't. I'd rather you not see me. I just no, I'm good. I want to come see you because you're alive and you're full of life. I don't want to come see you because I think you about to be out of here. Ill. Fear of mortality. The other fear is the fear of choosing different. That's what I love. What I love about somebody asked me like, how'd you get like this? I know what they meant when they said it because they've known me for a long time. Like, but how'd you get like this? Like, I mean, I don't like what happened. I was like, what you mean? Like this philosopher shit. I ain't no philosopher. I never once said that. I don't even connect to that. I don't identify. To me, when I think philosopher, I think a theorist. No, I'm a practitioner. Yeah, if you're gonna call me anything, call me a practitioner. I said, but how I changed was because I chose different. I pulled out of the life that I knew. I pulled out of that world and I did it very abruptly. Very abruptly. No explanations. No apologies. I ain't doing that no more. I'm not talking to them no more. I'm not answering the phone for them. I'm not returning their call. No, I'm not going to that. That's what I did. And I started to spend an incredible amount of time with myself. I need to know what I think about life. Okay. I need to know what my thoughts are about. And I had a list of things. What do you think about this? Where did you get that from? What do you think about this? What is your idea of a woman and what that means? I wasn't able to answer that. I had other people's shit. I had other people's perspectives and ideas about what makes this go left and what makes this go right. Solitude has been a great gift for me, and I like it. And I understand there's a time for all things, so there's a shifting that's happening, right? I'm shifting out of that. However, if you find that you're unhappy, maybe it's because you don't recognize your own voice. You haven't established your own voice. Who are you? What do you say about this life? What do you say about what's acceptable and what's not? What's needed and what's not? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. No, I just figured out something. Figured out something. Right? Like, what is your? Who are you? People don't like the idea of everybody is a brand, but you are a brand. There is something that comes to mind when people think of you. You represent something. What is that? And is it yours or is it some shit that somebody else gave you? I can't live like everybody else. It's so crazy that people fear choosing different, but they don't fear not choosing themselves. That should scare you. Not choosing yourself should scare you. Forget the people and the other stuff, a family, whatever. You gotta do this again. Comes back to establishing your own voice. You got to figure out what family means to you. You got to figure out how you define that. You got to figure out there's something you've been told about what family is, who family is, what's required, what the obligations are, what the obligations are not. You got to figure out if you agree with that. You got to figure out whether, yes, I will co-sign that. Yes, that no, that doesn't work for me. And I watched, I don't care. I'm just say how I feel it. I watch that sometimes you got to live a very interesting life when people are relieved when you die. Yeah, it's some people who die that people are relieved, whether they're admitted or not, whether they would ever tell a soul, maybe not even acknowledge it in their own mind. They're relieved that this person is gone. And I remember, like, my maternal grandmother was a very interesting lady. That's all I can say. She was a very, we'll just say interesting, right? She was just an interesting, and I was always, not always, I became curious what her story was. She wasn't a grandmother in the general sense. She was just a grandmother by name. That's it. But I became curious, like what could happen? What could a woman experience in her life that would result in what we got from her? Just curious with that. And I felt like she didn't, and I don't know the details, so maybe I shouldn't come to this conclusion, but I just don't feel like she lived a life in such a way that she warranted having the expectations that she had of her children in her later years. Like, bitch, please. That was, But I saw that she, like, the guilt worked. And with a church mind, people feel like when the Bible says honor your mother and father so that your days will be longer. Now, it ain't even talking about no physical mother and father. That's the crazy part. Although that's a good principle, you could take that. That's a good principle. That's a spiritual truth. It ain't even who is your mother and your father. The whole Bible is talking about your mind. It's talking about your mind. The left and the right side of the mind is talking about the different aspects of the mind. It's talking about the conscious and the subconscious. It's talking about the masculine and the feminine principle. That's who the mother and father is. The father of the father who drops the seed, the mother who receives the seed in her womb and brings it to life. All that's happening in your mind. So you're supposed to honor the idea, that new life, that new story, that new possibility. Is what you honor, right? You honor the ground that is dropped in, right? As the mother, what does the mother do? The mother nurtures the seed. So the father comes in, you get this new idea that life can be lived this way. That life, that holiday time should look like this, and we should feel this way, and we should honor this and that. That's a new idea. That's the father dropping a seed into your spirit, which is essentially you, right? The father being you, whatever, same thing. Just ask another aspect of you, right? And then the mother comes in and nurtures that. That's the mother and father that you honor. It's talking about creation. It's talking about manifestation. It ain't talking about you've had shitty parents and you just let them guilt you into putting up with their crap just because they help facilitate your arrival on this planet. And to watch people suffer out of guilt for years, decades, is sick. This is why you're unhappy. This is why you're unhappy. We can end all these conversations right now about why you're unhappy. You're unhappy because you've accepted other people's story about how life works. You won't trust yourself. You go against your nature, and your nature says it's time to do something different. How do you know that that's what your nature is saying? Because you're unhappy. That's the tail sign right there. Like, what do we? Fear, fear, fear of disappointing others. That's a wicked. That's a spirit. I want to tell you that. That's an evil spirit. The fear of disappointing others. You have the fear of disappointing others, but you don't have the fear of disappointing yourself. That's fascinating. You will let yourself down time and time. We'll do it year after year. And we're sitting here now, another year is ending. And I bet you if you reflect back to November of last year, you had these grand ideas about how life was going to look and unfold and whatever these things that you were going to do and you were going to accomplish and that you were going to see it through. And you sit here another November making excuses for why it ain't happened yet. I'm still waiting, divine timing. Really? Not your mind disappointing yourself. Like, we don't, like, what's the breaking point? Like, what actually, and this is why life gets worse. It's like this weird way that your soul is always looking out for you. It's like this weird way that your soul is orchestrating behind, like behind the scenes. That okay, we're gonna push it this way a little bit. Okay, will she move? No, she still won't move. Okay, we're gonna make it get a little bit worse. Let's see, will she move now? Nope, she still won't move. Okay, let's make this collapse. Okay, will she move? And life keep getting harder and harder, and the pain intensifies. The suffering intensifies. How in the world can we say that we know the keys, that we got the keys to life? I'm talking to those of us. I'm talking to people who got an ear to hear what I'm saying. I ain't talking about to everybody else. How can you say that you know you got all of these? We can spit it. We know the universal law of this and that. We know creation, reality creation, power of the mind. We know the Kabbalion. We know all the ancient spiritual this and the that. And yeah, what they don't want you to know. We know all of that. And you still unhappy. Don't you find something wrong with that? Why we ain't running the world? To sit back and say, I know the keys to the universe. To sit back and say, oh, I know what the elites are doing. I know what they be using. Why you ain't using it? Well, no, you know what I'm saying? They using it, they using that wicked shit. Okay, well, why don't you use it in a righteous way? Because power is power. That's just, there's one power. It's just a matter of how you use the power. How is it? Can we be the ones that say we have the keys to this thing and we ain't running shit? Why you ain't running shit? Why you ain't running your life? Why life ain't looking the way you want it? Why ain't you putting everybody in their place? The most sickening thing that I have witnessed, and ask me where I witnessed it first. Yeah, I'll tell you myself. The sickening thing is that those of us who are in the know, we are tap dancing around the fools, just like we did during COVID. Like we like, okay, we don't want to wrestle. Like, because I was curious why the other day, but I kind of snapped and cut somebody out. And it just was not how I normally, like, I just don't normally go that direction. I'm chill, right? And I don't let people bother me. But I was pondering over, like, what actually brought this to one. I've been tap dancing around some stuff. I've been tap dancing around, like, forget all the love and light. Sometimes you need fire and brimstone. Yeah, sometimes shit need to collapse. Sometimes things need to be destroyed. There are conversations we are ending. You are ending another year not having a conversation that you know needs to be had. Yeah, let's talk about it. I don't want to hear about like annoying family members. Actually, that was one of the titles that I was thinking about, like how your family, annoying family and unbearable holiday times, like they're messengers. They're communicating something to you. But these like we're running. You can't say you big, bad, and bold. I am God, and you running from conversations that need to be had. There are things that need to be addressed. There's bullshit that has gone on for too long, and that's what sickens me. This is why I can't play. I can't play. I can't even. I even told Mom Dukes that a while ago about something. I'm like, listen, we the problem. You understand what I'm saying? We are the problem because don't talk to me. Like, I don't want to talk to amongst ourselves about this problem. Bring the problem, the issue to the table. Okay. And if it caused a complete collapse and people go their separate ways and don't nobody want to talk to each other no more, good. I know everybody else is concerned about society. I think it's great. I love it, actually. Y'all talk about people breaking up. Great. More people need to break up. More, more, more. The illusion is collapsing. Bring it down. I see order. That's what I see. People say things are falling apart. I see things coming together. More. Good. You got fired. You lost that job. Good. Because you wouldn't have pursued your dreams any other way. Good. I'm glad you lost a job. Well, Brooke, but my bills behind. Fuck them bills. I know we got them. We got to figure out how to do whatever. Hey, listen, if you really trusted yourself the way you said, if you really trusted in a spirit and a God and an ancestor and all the other words that we use, then why are you afraid? We're full of shit. And I'm talking to those who are in the know. We're full of shit because we supposed to be in the know. We like somebody got to lead this thing, and the fact that we will sit in our little circles and have conversations about what's wrong with the world, but what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, I mean, what, you just gonna sit back and just let fools just do whatever? What do you like? Don't point out to me all the problems in the world. I don't want to hear about all the problems in your family. Create a new one. Create new traditions. I what, fellas? I don't want to hear about you complaining about women. Okay, you chose them. Choose another one. Well, it's not that simple. It actually is. It actually is. It actually is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everybody. Mahogany shared, one of the good peeps in the inner circle, shared one of her favorite quotes today from Florence Scovel Shinn, and I was like, ooh, I love it. And she said that man is God afraid. Damn. That's a banger right there. Like, man, like, you think about God, the all, the unlimited, the all powerful. It's like God is playing this game, like, okay, I'm playing human. Now I pretend. So I get into this physical flesh body, right? And I pretend to be limited. I pretend to be afraid. I pretend not to know how to do this or that. Like, every one of us know what to do. Every one of us know what needs to happen. Every one of us, why do we do this? I be reflecting back on certain things, and one of the things that I understand about my, I guess if you could call it a path, I guess, is that I've chose like difficult, almost like a retarded person. Like, why you keep choosing? Like, every phase of my life has just been difficult. I'm like, why you choose this? And then I was like, oh, I remember I decided that I'm here, that I chose a path of understanding. And I was under the belief that pain birth understanding. And so I've chosen things even unconsciously in this indirect way of birthing understanding. And did it do that? Yes. Yes. However, I now know there's a better way, that love also births understanding. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah, okay, I've had enough hard shit. I don't have to do. But one of the things it has done is it has allowed me to put myself in other people's shoes. I like that. That's why I like it. I like all of it. Like, don't take nothing out of my story. You keep it all there. All the stains, all the funky stuff, keep it right there. And part of what I remember about being stuck is, how would I phrase it? Like this is me in hindsight, reflecting back, like, why didn't you move? Why? Like, why didn't you move? Why did like you rooked the great? You've been rooked the great for a long time. Like, why didn't you move when you knew to move? All I could see was the moment was just greater than me. That's the way it felt. And it had gotten so big. I allowed it to get so big. I made it a giant. Ew. This is what Genesis, this is what it's talking about in Genesis with the giants and the grasshoppers. When you make the problem, like when you make this prison that you're in so great, it makes you feel like you're stuck. And that's impossible. See, that's the affirmation. I mean, that's the assumption right there. The fact that you even believe that you could be stuck. How could a God be stuck? I got like we're not catching the contradictions because we're unaware. Like on one instant you say that I am a creator of my reality, but then you say I'm stuck. Well, it's difficult. You don't understand. It's more complicated. How can things it drives me crazy. But I'm looking at old Rook. I'm going back to like, I keep getting snapshots of different scenes. And I'm like, yeah, right there is when I knew. It was like a deeper part of me knew, like, why didn't I, why didn't I jump then? What? I don't advise doing this from a place of like regret and beating yourself up, like condemning yourself. That's not the point. I do this kind of as a game with myself, like, damn, as a way again to better understand people, to better understand why people stay in lives that they hate. And this is how you create illness. You're not aging. That's not what's happening. Okay? You don't even, you like, think about it. Your spirit don't even know what an age is. You made that up. Somebody told you about age. If nobody ever told you about age, you wouldn't age. We wouldn't even age. This is just it's a story. It's a concept. So you're not aging. No. You're dying. That's what ends up happening. You're dying because you're unhappy, and you're unhappy because you won't make changes. We won't make changes, and this is it. We will see the coming back to social media. We'll see people living amazing lives. That speaks to you. Why does it speak to you? I don't see a problem with it. I like it because it should say to you that if this is in my realm of awareness, it's speaking. It's got to be like me, and it got to be. I wouldn't see it otherwise. Right? It moved like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you see people living, like, damn, what would life look like if I didn't have to worry about money? Why does that speak to you? Unless you believe that there's some higher thing that just likes to play with you, just like to tempt you. Why would God tempt you? People's concept of God is really weird. And I again, I understand because I used to have the same concept. Like, why God is tempting you and testing you. It seems like a very, very weird little dude. Like, what's the problem? Why would you be tempting me? You're gonna tell me you're not the temptation, then you're gonna give me temptations. Which one is it? Unless you understand that God is you. And it's your awareness. It's whatever you put your attention on. And that's what you're going to see reflected in your life. So unhappiness should be good. You should be like, oh, okay. It's like your body breaking out. I was talking to the group about how we approach illness, right? If like I ate something, let's just say I ate something that was poisonous and went somewhere or whatever, food poison, but my body never reacted. I never started feeling sick in my stomach. Okay, I never got nauseated, never got diarrhea, never vomited. What do you think will happen? Nigga, I just die. Because there's something in that needs to come out. But I don't know that. But my body knows that. That's the beauty in what we're calling 3D. It's see, like, you don't have to know like, there's always this idea like, no, Rook, I don't do this. I don't think this way. I don't give a damn what you say. Your reality reflects your awareness, whether you like it or not. There's an aspect of you might not even be aware of. So the beauty in this, right, in this body is that is I always get an insight on what's going on underneath. That's the beauty. So again, if I ate something that didn't agree with me, right, it was poisonous. If my skin didn't start breaking out, if it was something going on with my blood, if my body never gave me any symptoms, I wouldn't know that there was an issue needing to be resolved. It's the you feel what I'm saying? Like it's the body's way of communicating to me. That's why we don't fight symptoms. No, we dial into what the symptom's pointing to. The symptom is telling me something. It's pointing to something. Okay? Same thing in my physical world. In my world when I'm dealing with people. I'm not mad at the people. I look at it like, damn, this is interesting. What does this reflect? What is this saying to me? You can argue with it all you want. But there's an aspect of you that has your awareness is there, love. Your awareness is there, right? Whether it's money problems, love problems, business problems, it don't matter. I gave this example of I was thinking about the idea of demons, right? So I gave this example of growing up when I was young. I was like under 5. I'd be in the house and it'd be dark. Everybody's going to bed, and I'm in my bedroom, and I would be scared. And the nights that I'd stay in my room, it's like I heard all these noises, and it looked like things were moving and something is coming down the hall. Like this is kids, right? Kids are they're scared of the dark, right? You hear things and you think you see things or you actually see things. And it brought up fear in me, the unknown, the unrecognizable. Then one night, it looked like a white, almost like a ghost, right? I just saw like white coming down the hall. And I don't know if I cried out for my mother or what, but I guess I got her attention. And anyway, she made it no, anyway, it was her. Okay. She started like I started identifying in that instant. I gave meaning to the noise. I gave meaning to the thing that was once unrecognizable. It was only one reason why it made me afraid, because I hadn't given it any other meaning. That's what a demon is. The demon is the shit that stirs you and makes you afraid that you haven't given any other meaning. That's why we don't fight demons and we don't try to get rid of them. No, we dance with them. It's our squad. Demon is your spirit. You understand? So the fear that has people in this chokehold, if you would allow it to come to the surface, right, and put some meaning on it. I no longer, the next night I go in the room, I hear the same noise, I automatically assign that's mama walking. That ain't no boogeyman. Understand nothing changed other than my perspective. That's the only thing that changed. The noise was still there. The figure walking by was still there. This is all of life. The shit that we're afraid of. You're afraid of the dark. That's why you won't go there. You won't let it come up. This is why we need devices. This is why we run. Whatever's there, come to the surface and give it meaning. Nothing can hurt me. Everything works in my favor. Even if it's pain. Even if it's pain in the moment. All things work together for good. Man, is God afraid? Damn. The fear of giving new meaning to life. I think that's why whatever you're doing it'll continue to get worse, because there's a deeper part of you that's asking for new meaning. If what you were doing was working, you would be happy. That's the bottom line. If what you were doing is working, you'd be at peace. You would have had a great holiday, but yet you're not. And you won't ask yourself why. Self exploration, sitting with your ass, sitting with you. That's how I know I'm kind of crazy. Like, and I don't suggest people do some of the things that I do because I want it. I want it. I want to see the monsters. I want it. I want to see in the dark. That's what changes. It's conviction. It's a willingness. Show it all to me. Break it all down. Scare me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to see what that. I want to see what that looked like when I face my fears. I need to know that. When I watched myself the other day have like a, it wasn't an out of body experience. It was like a, have y'all read the book The Body Keeps Score? I haven't read that book, but it's been on my radar for a little bit. But when it first came on my radar, I kind of was annoyed with reading, so I just was like, I ain't reading nothing else right now. But this is what that book is essentially talking about: how we store. Right, the body is a mind, essentially. The body is a mind, and so it was something, right? It was a thing, right, with me. And I'm by myself now. Nothing is happening to me. There's no human interaction. Nobody's around me. Nobody said nothing to me. It's just something that has unfolded that wasn't to my liking. And my mind was kind of doing, going all over the place, right? But as I'm sitting and like sifting through it in my head, all of a sudden I noticed changes in my body. It's like an out of body experience. It was like I'm watching somebody else. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, okay, my heart rate is increasing. Just by me thinking about this, my heart rate is increasing. Okay, my breath is getting shallow. This is what awareness is. I'm aware of what's going on. Because certainly this has happened in the past, but I wasn't aware of it. Right? I feel this tightness in my chest, and then this turning in my gut. I'm like, yo, like this is anxiety. This is what people describe as anxiety. Like I'm ain't like, why am I ain't I'm not ain't like I'm combing through this thing, right? It's not really pleasing to me. I'm a little annoyed and frustrated with, but it ain't that serious. But obviously, it was communicating something to my body. It was causing a reaction in my body. Unlike what I would normally do in the past, right? You can talk yourself out of things, right? You can go through a routine, right? You can start saying things to yourself, affirmations. You can get up and move your body, right? Like there are things that you can do to shift momentum. But this time I didn't want to stop it. I was more fascinated. So I just let it ride. I kind of literally just sat. I just sat and I just in silence. And I just was like, this is interesting. That like this is not me. Like I'm watching, this is not me. I don't act like this. Like I don't respond like this. I don't like that. This is not what I do. Who is this? What is causing this reaction? And I don't know. See, again, we come back to what a demon is. What could draw that reaction out of my body like that? There's a connection that's being made to some, there has to be some part of my awareness that's on not being who I say I am. Let's just say that. Because if I am who I say I am, my body wouldn't be reacting this way. And I sat with it. Eventually, like I wanted to listen to something, right? So I turned something on to listen to it. Then that was annoying, so I turned it off, right? And then it starts to subside, right? It just starts to, my heart rate starts to come down, and then I get into my bag, right? Like this shit is fake. Like this is not even real. Like your body is reacting right now to something that is not real. Obviously, your awareness has gone somewhere, right? It's on something that isn't true. And this is why you're responding this way. Like, do you understand that whenever you go against, like, that's the whole idea of being, I don't want to say out of your God state, right? Is that, I don't know if that's the best way to frame it. But it's more so when God is essentially good, right? It's like when you go against your good, when that's going against your nature, that's when you feel like shit. Because it has to be a part of you that's saying no. I was talking to myself the other day. I'm like, yeah, I wonder if I should do X, Y, Z. And my spirit was like, the answer is always yes. The answer is always yes. It's you that get to decide if you want to insert a no. The answer is always yes. You can do anything. You decide what you don't want to do, but you can do anything. You don't have to ask. Like there's no question that needs to be asked. The answer is yes, yes, yes. You the one come in with no, can't go this way. But what about that? No, the answer is yes. But when we go against that, that's when we feel like when you're in situations like some of you, I already know, like you hate your family. You hate them. You will never admit it. You're never even going to acknowledge it to yourself, but you do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that feels wrong. You shouldn't. That makes you a bad person. But you don't like them. You don't vibe with them. You feel like a sore thumb. You feel like the black sheep. You care about them, right? And you wish well for them, but you just don't like them. They disturb your spirit. You don't feel good. You don't feel like yourself. You have to put on a mask. You have to be someone else. You have to, like, it's work. That's how you know when you outside of your nature, when it feels like work. Why is it so hard? Do you really think it's hard to love people? No, 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 no. Love is the easiest thing there is. My God. Like the most powerful, most magnetic, that shit easy. So if it's not easy, you might not like me saying you don't like them and you hate them, but that's what it is. Because you should be able to mesh well with them, and you don't. Why not? And why you keep forcing it? Because you think it's the right thing to do. This is what people are really calling the journey. The journey is the wrestling of yourself. Is you wrestling with who you will decide to be. That's it. Whether I find this to be acceptable, whether I don't, whether this makes me a good person, whether it doesn't. Will I be honorable if I do this? Will I have integrity if I do this? Will I be judged? Will I care about being judged? That's the whole journey. When you see a person finally like take off, right? That's um when you finally see a person take off, they just have landed they've decided this is who I am. That's all they've done. It's no more wrestling of the mind. This is who I am. This is how I'm going to live. I don't give a damn what you think about it. This is how I define a family. This is what will be true for me going forward. This is where I will give my time. This is where I won't. This is what I will allow. In my space, this is what I want. I don't owe nobody shit. That's the people, and that's why everybody love it. People love the free spirits. We all gravitate towards. People love the bad boy. We always love the people who living free without restraints, not giving a damn, saying what you too afraid to, what you second guessing, because it might be some ramifications to that. It might be some blowback. We love it. Everybody loves it. Everybody. Why? It's the energy. That's what's missing. That's what's missing. Huh. So the whole idea of unhappy, the good news is only you can do something about it. It's like you will be unhappy until you no longer will, until you get fed up. When I think about all the years I spent unhappy, well, the first thing that I did, I'm gonna tell y'all what I found. I was looking for my old vision board, and I took a picture of it because once I started to move around a lot, I'm like, okay, I can't be taking this around everywhere. But I pulled it up, and it had picture underneath it. I used to have, like, I had put some mirrors up where I would work out and I would write my different sayings or whatever on it. I'm so funny. I just look at just where my mind was, and it makes sense why I was struggling. This is the stories you tell are so important. As long as you keep telling yourself that life is hard and life is not about being happy, that's what I told myself. When the truth was, I hadn't figured out how. I just didn't know how. That was cope. That's what that was. Cope. So yeah, life ain't about being happy. Life is about responsibilities. You got to do this and that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one person's story. That's one person's version of it. Or, or you can actually get what you want. But I was looking at what some of the notes I had written on this mirror, right? And one of them said, invent the person who can take the beatings. Just listen to that. Invent the person who can take the beatings. I thrived off that. And if I have to say so myself, I was damn good at it. I was damn good at taking the beatings. There's something about, I'm gonna say what my villain story probably began in middle school when I got my last ass whipping. Yeah, that was my last. It was, and if you grew up like some of us did, we just got whippings for every damn thing, like just for stupid shit. I got a beating one time because I ran in the house. It was summertime. It was hot. We was outside playing, eating a bunch of watermelon. I had to use the bathroom really bad. I ran in to use the bathroom, didn't close the door all the way. So, you know, when you close the door, but it doesn't take hold, it kind of comes back. But the door wasn't open. It just didn't close all the way. I got a whipping for that. You don't use the bathroom with the door closed. I mean, with the door open. But on this particular day in middle school, right? I think I was like sixth grade. So that's what, 6 plus 5, right, around about 11. I missed the bus. I missed the bus. And the penalty for missing the bus was like, oh, you gonna get it. Yeah, I'm gonna take you to school, but you gonna get this whooping. And I wasn't necessarily against whipping if I knew I'd done something, right? But this shit was so, like, I genuinely overslept. I overslept. And we had an asshole bus driver, Miss Illy, wherever she is. Boy, she was such an asshole. Like, I stayed down this little road. It was a dirt road, right? And she would come and see me running and just take off. Like, if you ain't at the end of the road, it would have taken like 2 minutes for me to run down the river. Anyway, missed the bus. So, in old country fashion, had to go. And this was one of those whippings where you had to take your pants down, right? Take your pants down and lay over the bed. And I was just so furious again, not at the whipping, because if I felt like I'd done something wrong, then I'd been like, all right, well, yeah, I deserve it. But I'm like, this is the most idiotic thing I've like something. The villain was born. And I remember like it was this attitude, like, all right. And I remember laying on that bed and I said to myself, you can beat the skin off of me. I ain't gonna move an inch. You can beat me down to my bone. You can beat me till I'm bleeding. I ain't gonna cry. That was that first time like inventing the person who can take the beatings. And that was the last whipping I ever got. Don't nothing piss a person off more who trying to hurt you when they figure out they can't hurt you no more. Ooh, I think we got a message right there. Good God. Once a person trying to hurt you when they figure out you can't hurt me no more. Can't hurt me no more. You can't scare me no more. That's what you got to tell life. Nah, you can't scare me no more. So that was the mindset, right? And that mindset is absolutely needed when you're in survival mode. I do recommend it. I mean, that's where you at. It will help you. I would suggest you not stay there. Oh, I didn't see it. Okay. Okay, hold on. I'll come back to the chat. Well, I didn't see none of them pop up. So anyway, let me go back to the picture. I'm giving you something here if you can catch it. So I wrote up there, invent the person who can take the beatings. I want you to understand the power of storytelling. When you invent the person who can take the beatings, your ass is going to get beat. Life is going to beat you because that's what you've invented. The person who can take beatings. You're not going to get that. You're not going to invent a person. Okay. But that's where I was. That's what it is. Then the next ones I wrote, feel the pain. Now I do find a usefulness in feeling the pain, right? People are trying to numb pain. So I understand, but it was this obsession. I'm trying to get you to understand what this obsession with beating and pain and enduring and fighting and being unhappy and fucking miserable. As long as you lock into that, as long as you stay there, that's what you can get more evidence of. I put watch me bleed. I'm gonna be honest. I like this part of me, to be honest. I like that I can tap into this. I don't, this is not my dominance anymore. But I like that I could tap into that at any moment if I wanted to. I do. I do. What did it say? Will you fight for it? Duty. Right? So I had came into the mindset that it was duty over love. Duty. 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 That's why I bought into the whole idea that, life is not about being happy, right? Because it's about duty. You got to do what you're here to do, right? It's about titles. Ugh. Ugh. This is what's killing you. This is what's killing you. I'm just telling you. This is why, again, coming back to this whole idea of aging, it ages you because you're constricting yourself. This is what you're doing in life force. You're just weakening your life force. And this is why illness comes. And sometimes illness is what people need to break out of this shit. Sometimes that's the turning point for people when they really get ill in body. That's their I guess, like I said, turning point. Everybody is something different. For some people, is turn even sickness isn't enough. You ever seen people and you're like, damn, what more would it take? You keep going back to the doctor, you getting worse. Like, what in the world? Sickness is not enough. You know what ends up being their turning point? Death. Experiencing deep grief about something. That's what ends up being their turning point. For some people, even death ain't enough. It ain't enough. They got to experience like loss. They got to lose money. They got to lose a lover. For some people, it's heartbreak, absolute heartbreak. For some people, it's abandonment. It depends on whatever stories that you have told. Whatever will lead you back to you. That's what pain is all about. It's leading you back to yourself. That's what unhappy is being about. It's like you have this guard, right? Somebody's on guard and they like, hey, reel it on back in. Come on, going out too far. Going out, you been playing outside and you feel like, hey, too far, come on back over here. Or you at the pool, too deep. Come on back. Come on back in. That's your spirit's way of saying that. Come on back in. Come on back home. Everything is pointing you back home. Everything is pointing you back home. If you still got to ask people what you need to do, no, that's you. You got to figure out what you need to do. Only you know that. Now, the good news about life is everybody becomes a mirror of you. So sometimes if you ain't ready, you know, consciously, right, just people will act as somewhat of messengers. That's what some of our family members are here for. They're special messengers. Beautiful. They're here to show you that you're here for more. They're here to show you that you can't live life. Like, do you not understand? Like, how are you not feeling like, yo, it's me. I'm the game changer. Like like I'm actually like it's me. It's me. First, you get excited. Well, this is what I found is how it unfolds, right? First, you are suffering through life. You don't know what's going on. You feel like you're losing your mind. You start to come online a little bit and you're like, yo, I'm like, when I say come online, you starting to notice more in life. You starting to pay attention to like, this something don't make sense about this shit. So you finally crack it. It's like, oh my God, this is a lie. Oh, okay, I got it now, right? I like that. That's good. You feel real bold, right? You feel excited. You be ready to tell everybody the knowledge. Like, listen, let me tell y'all niggas what you don't know. This is going on. This is the truth. This is what you need to read. Da 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 da. Right? Yeah. That feels good initially. And you got big ideas like this is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna impact the world, and this is what I'm gonna pursue. And yeah. Then you start becoming more aware of yourself. And the more aware you become, oh, that's when the darkness come in. Don't you understand that that's what awareness is? The question came, right? Okay, let me pivot a little bit and then I'll circle back. I'm going back to me talking about what my body was experiencing, right? So I was telling the group that in the past 2 weeks, the top 5 major kind of pain points in my life or themes of kind of things have kind of been a thorn in my side, so to speak. Those things have come up randomly. And it's at the time when I am more locked in than I ever have been. Okay. Like I ain't been no point of time ever in my life that I'm in control of my mind the way I am now, in my attention, in my focus. Like when I wake up, it's like a tape player that's running. And it's like, nigga, you the one. Your life is perfect. Everything is unfolding in faith. Like when I tell you, like, I never been like I am now. Why do you think that I could be more intentional than I've ever been in my life, and old funky shit rear his head? Suspicious. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed when you decide to get real intentional, when you just about your health, about spirituality, about self-development, about being, just being intentional? That it seems like your mind start running out of control, your mind start doing this and that, things like you can tell us even with like challenges we do with food and diet. It's like you don't even want these things until we say, okay, we're not eating this for this period of time. It's like, yo, as soon as we said we were starting this challenge, I had the desire for this, that, and the other, right? Why do you think that is? Like, what is awareness? When we say I am all that is, what does that mean? That means you are awareness. I feel like we need another word to describe this. You're everything. What is everything? People think like the spirituality, like I'm just the light. I'm just the light. I'm just the light. Okay, you're the light and the dark. You're the light and the dark. You're the good and what you're calling the bad. Is it that it's just popping up? Let's ask this question. Is it that shitty thoughts just start to pop up when you decide to focus your attention on what you want? Is it just that these unwanted circumstances pop up as soon as you say, listen, this is the life I'm going to live and everything's going to work in my favor? Do you think it's just popping up? Or is it that your awareness has expanded and now you see it? Now you recognize it. Because that's what happened. What is being a child? There's some children right now. They for the holidays, they having the time of their life. They don't know what y'all niggas is arguing. Them adults is in there arguing about something we don't know. We talking about the game and the cars and the this and we don't know what they talking about. What's the difference between the child and the adult? Just what they're aware of. So you cannot stop stepping like, because I want people to be clear on what they're asking. When do you really want to be about this life? Like, do you really want to be like, oh, I am all that is. Okay, I'm the creator of my reality. I am God. You don't get to say I am God, which means I am awareness. I am everything, and then say, oh, but I'm not that. No, you're all of it. Awareness is all of it. Now, you as the identity, you as the personality, as the ego, no, you might not identify with that. Okay, cool. But awareness is everything. So you could say, in the words of, I think it was Joseph Murphy, you cannot create what you want. And he didn't word it this way. This is my interpretation. You cannot create what you want without also creating what you don't want. That's what duality is. You cannot create hot water without cold water. How do you know it's hot if you don't have something to compare it to? So could it be that when it looks like your life is getting worse, when it looks like shit is getting better, when it looks like you're unhappy, could it be because you've already created the opposite of that? And all you got to do Let's put your focus on it. You can just give meaning to this unhappiness that I'm experiencing is a sign that I've created happiness, that I'm now choosing. I've chosen a new path for myself. I've chosen a new possibility. I've let me read some of the comments. Why comments keep going away? Why do we focus more on what we don't want? That's a question to ask yourself. I would say this, right? It's simply put, it's a habit. It's a habit. We practice focusing on what we don't want. We have practiced focusing on what's wrong with the world versus what's right with it. We've practiced focusing on evil more than good. We've practiced focused on the devil more than God. It's just what we practice doing. And now it's about being intentional. Like really saying to yourself, I will focus on what I want. I will focus on what I want. I will focus on what I want. Every time your attention starts to go somewhere else, I'm telling a new story now. I'm known as the family disappointment because I stopped being a Jehovah's Witness, but I'm actually happy now. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Good. Shout out to the family disappointments. That held me back for a little while, right? I didn't want to disappoint my mama. I didn't. I felt like she'd been through enough in her life. I felt like that I was really here to, you know, to right some wrongs. As a little girl, I decided, I don't know how I did this, but I really decided that I was going to take on her pain. It was like, we had this encounter, and something in me was like, I felt her shame and embarrassment and guilt, right? And I remember telling her, it's okay, mama. It's okay. I understand. And I understood. I don't know how I understood, but I understood. I was like, I understand. And it was something in me at that time that was like, this is just everybody's life is different. It was particularly about my father. That's what it was about, right? She was just telling me that my father wasn't interested in being in my life, right? And I just felt her pain in that moment. And I just told her, okay. And in my mind, I said, some people have their fathers, some people don't. I'm at this time probably, I'm thinking fifth grade. What would that be, 10? Maybe younger than that. Maybe younger. But I just was like, I would take on, and it was some part of me decided that I would take on her. I don't know. Again, I can't explain it. And I had been on this mission. I made her my mission. She became my why before I knew anything about a why. And I just decided that the pain was too much for her, so I would take it on. I got it. I can't explain it, but what's up, JB? Hey, Elise. Hey, Mahogany. What up, Dr. Money Magnet? Chakalita. The power is out over here, so I'll sign out. But I really appreciate your work. I read A Course in the Miracles Made Easy. Yeah, that's a good little summary book. I bought it. I never read through it. And I think I didn't at the time because I was just annoyed. I go through these periods in my life where I just don't want to hear from nobody else. Like I don't want to hear nobody else's perspective on it. I skimmed through some of it, but I just wanted to, I was like, let me dive in the book a little bit myself. And then I'll come back. I just don't want nobody else's perspective. Like I don't want nobody else's perspective in my mind. Um I'm mad that this didn't come up. Like I don't know what y'all was responding to some of this. Whew. Mahogany said that creates anxiety in my just thinking about it. Got a whooping for being too independent. Children ain't supposed to move with so much confidence. Well, and that became my problem, right? So I know people got a problem with the ego. I would encourage you to develop it. That's what I would encourage you to do. Certainly put it in its place. Understand where it's limited, but no, I had to develop mine. I didn't have enough. You know, people are like, oh, they got too much ego. No, I needed it. Like you need to turn it on. You need to turn and I told the group this: if you have a problem with being a badass, this is where an alter ego can help you. Keep your ego that you like, right? You keep your little whatever, and that you a good person and you're this and that, and then you create the alter ego. That's what you tap into to be the badass. That's who you tap into to get shit done and to, cuss motherfuckers out if you need to. Yeah. Uh what's up, Adam? You just wrote a proverb. I don't know what I said. Mm. Dr. Moneymatic said, I love revision. It helps me stay in the now. It's the self, it's our word of the day yesterday was control your inner conversation. Control your inner conversation. It's hard to control your inner conversation when you're not even aware of your inner conversation. I know people say in the manifestation world that all you got to do is just say your affirmation and say your affirmation and say your affirmations. And I do agree sometimes that is helpful, like to just get out of your mind, like lock into one central theme and just stay there and stay there. However, some of us have a very active mind. People who are very imaginative, people who are very inquisitive, people who are very curious, the mind gets busy. And I find it useful to be able to I want to understand some of the activity. I want to be aware of, like, these are your children, your thoughts. When the Bible talks about children, your thoughts are your children. So you got to treat them as such. You got to guide them, you got to direct them. And that inner conversation, like being able to check it, like, who am I being right now? I thought you said life is perfect. I thought you said you get whatever you want. That isn't true for us anymore. No, it has to work in my favor. And I can't I can't get it wrong. Like I can't get it wrong. I don't have to second guess myself. Just move. And the confidence piece is what, like, that's really what everybody doing. All of this whether it's self-development, whether it's spirituality stuff, it's just developing knowledge of self, which is essentially that's how you develop confidence. Are you confident enough to live the life you say you want? That shit take confidence. You need confidence. And you gotta develop it. Okay. Mahogany said, I used to feel trapped in my mind. Then one day I gave it the meaning. It's a superpower. Yep. Because once I point all these thoughts in the right direction, unstoppable. You see what I'm saying? Right? Like, it's whatever I say it is. Like, I run this. Like, I run this. And you can't say that on the surface. And then when circumstances come up, you start folding. Like, do you run this or don't you? That's what the COVID masterclass was about. At least that's what I think it was about. It was like, oh, we getting a master class. Like, okay, it's go time. That's how this shit could go. Like, if you're looking at life as one big game, like this is my game that I'm playing. And when circumstances come up, I get the opportunity. I'm getting the opportunity to decide how I'm gonna play. It's like it's go time. Like I've been over here, getting the reps in, putting up my shots. Oh, I'm in the game now. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Rook the Great is on the scene. Let's get it. Like that's how we gotta cue the organ. That's how we gotta look at life. Like, are you really like when you start telling yourself, oh, I'm stuck. And if I do, I'm gonna tell you one of the worst things is being in situations where you're afraid of how the another person, like how your actions might cause another person to react. That's slavery. That's a prison. Because what you do is you give them the power. It's such a disgusting place to be in. Ugh. It it's a disgusting place to be in. Like, it comes back to confidence though. Like, am I who I say I am? Am I who I say I am? Because if I am, I can't make no wrong choices. If I am, there can be no negative outcome to what anything that I do, no matter what I do. So I do agree with those. There's always the argument of, well, when it comes to manifestation, do you need to focus on self concept? Why wouldn't you focus on self concept? Self concept is everything, how you see yourself. Because if I see myself as, if my mind is my reality, if God, my mind is essentially God, right? If I'm creating all of this in my head, if I got a core knowing that everything I do works in my favor, that I could never miss out, that I could never get it wrong, that I could never lose, that seems to cover all the circumstances. Any circumstance that could possibly come up, it seems like I'm good. If I come back to that, right? Every time I'm like, so, sometimes I'm in my business bag. So I'm looking at like different business things, right? They breaking out different stuff, right? And I'm like, yeah, you got to look at this. You got to look at, the competition and see, I don't even have a mind that I have competition. It's like, this is why I can't listen to this shit. Like why, if I got a core concept that I run the world, because the world is my reality is me. How can I have competition? That don't make any sense. Why would you? This is why I mean we are a walking contradiction, because we're saying we're in control. I am a creator of my reality. So why would you create a reality where somebody else is in control? Why would you create a reality where somebody could beat you? I don't know. Maybe that's just the way my mind works. See, this is why I know thyself. You got to know what works for you, and you got to know what doesn't work for you. I don't approach things like that. Anything that I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna do it second guessing myself, I ain't gonna do it. Why would you start a business and consider competitors? I know, I understand the game. I understand overall what we got to do. I'm talking to the G's though. I'm talking to the gods that get results that seem to be impossible. I'm talking to the people that just can make shit shake. I'm not talking to people. I've already said there's two types of people: those who are here to maintain the old, those who are here to usher in the new. Are you here to usher in the new, or are you not? The reason why a lot of people are so unhappy is because you can't fit in this world. And you keep trying to fix yourself. That's why I don't like the word journey no more. Forget the journey, forget it. Why am I on a journey? You don't have to fix yourself. You don't have to fix. Why are you trying to acclimate yourself to this world that somebody else created? Create your own world. Create your own world. Why don't you do that? Because you're afraid and you care what other people think. That hurt my feelings when I found that out about myself. And my feelings can get hurt, but that hurt my feelings. Like, damn, you care what people think. I'm like, no, I don't. Yes, you do. And then I started to do a checklist. But if you didn't care what people think about that, then why didn't you do that? Then why didn't you say that? Then why didn't you address that? I was like, damn, not me. When you get lost in your own sauce, huh? It's okay though, because everything works in your favor. It's like, oh, okay, I got it now. I understand. Understand the error in my ways. Got it. That okay won't happen again. It won't happen again. What does that look like when we moving through life without barriers, without limitations? When I can check when my thoughts start to even consider a limitation. I just wonder what that looks like. It's why I won't be a part of anything that's not done with love and intention. Coming back to that, love and intention. I can't. I can't. It makes me feel sick to my stomach. People just doing shit just to be doing shit. No. No, I'm not coming to things just to be coming to them. No. 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 If you're doing it out of obligation, don't do it. Or at least for me, I put it to you like that. Yeah. You got to write a book. I've already started 3. I just need to finish one of them. It's coming. It's coming. I've been in the trenches. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to help people not stay in the trenches as long as I stayed in there. Stop fighting yourself. Tell new stories. Stop trying to fix broken shit like it's broke. Forget it. Forget it. Eh. Tell a new story. What if today, right? I ain't even gonna say today because I know, no, let's go with today. I was about to say the first of the year, but let's go with today. What if today you just decided that I'll no longer entertain problems? I'll no longer allow problems to enter my mind. I just won't, I mean, they could come across my mind, but I will no longer entertain it. I'll no longer entertain lack. Like the fact that we are so particular about, like, everybody goes, this is one of the things I don't understand about the whole argument. What's the people, the little polygamy and stuff? It's fascinating to me that people say energy is everything. That anything that you give your attention to it drains you. You're right, no matter what you're doing. But that you can just, like, when it when it comes to like people, you could just be with as many people. You could just sleep around as much as you want. It's just not a big deal. It's just, I guess, whatever. I'm just curious why there's not. What am I trying to say? Why don't we take this obsessive approach to minding our mind? Like, if you looked at your mind as your house, right? Why would you allow people coming in who are doubtful? Like, why would you allow them in? Why would you allow people who are afraid of living? Like, looking at your mind as your house, anytime something came to you that suggested that you were stuck, why would you allow it in? Why would you allow it to stay? Like, it's like the door. This is what the Bible is saying. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. Any man that lets me in, I'll come in, I'll sup with him. That's what it's saying. What is the door? Your consciousness. The thought is coming by. Every thought that comes across your mind is a potential. That's it. It's a suggestion. You ain't got to take it. You ain't got to take it. You got to catch yourself making up stuff. Like, let's say a person does something, right? Let's say you call somebody. You called them multiple times and they hadn't gotten back to you. What is a typical response? You start coming up with stories like, damn, is it like that? Damn, what? Did they got me blocked? Damn, are they ignoring me? Oh, they don't mess with me like that no more? Oh, wow. Okay, I see what type time is on. I see I'm not a priority. Oh, okay, I guess something else is more important. Like, you just made all that shit up. You made it all up. You had no evidence of none of that. Okay. All of those were assumptions. Because you could just as easily said, damn, they must be really busy. Oh, their battery could have went dead. They really locked in. I know they're gonna get back to me as soon as they get a chance. Like, you could have just as easily, because what is an assumption? Anything that you accept as true without evidence. Okay. But no, we allow our mind to just make up shit in the negative and just run with it. That's a knocking. Those are suggestions being made. You could just as easily say no, no, no. That's not it. That's not what happened. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know that bitch was trying to play me. No, she wasn't. No, you just made that up. You just made that up. Stop making up stuff. And if you're gonna make up stuff, make up good stuff. So many assumptions not in your favor. And that's the thing. I only think in my favor. I only accept. I only acknowledge what I accept to be true. What I want, that's the only thing I accept. Okay? There's no such thing as cold and flu season. Why? Because I don't accept that. It's bullshit. There was a post going around like, what if you rarely get sick? What is your secret? I stopped believing in it. That's my secret. I stopped believing sickness was necessary. I stopped believing sickness was normal. I stopped believing that sickness was to be expected. That's my secret. Well, no, Rook, I mean, you changed your diet. Yeah, I did. But there's a lot of people who change their diet and they still get sick. So then what? Yeah, but Rook, it's because you did a lot of detoxing. Yeah, I did. But there's a lot of people that do detox and they still get sick. So now what? No, I had a change of mind. It's a new mind, a new story, and a new life. It's newness. I just no longer accept that. What's the last one? This is what? The Rook 3. I never speak against myself. Okay? I never no, only in my favor. Only in my favor. Okay? 2, I only acknowledge what I want. Only acknowledge what I say is true. And then 3, I never give power to anything outside of me. I'm the only power. I'm the only power. Even that people won't accept. So when you come into these new, we're talking ideas, right? That's what I'm offering, just an idea. It's up to you to say, oh yeah, I like that. I come into agreement with that. You don't have to come into agreement. What keeps us kind of in this back and forth state is that we won't lock into it and just say yes. It's like, well, I don't know if I'm the only power now. I can't be the only power. Well, what about this? Well, what about that? Where I can't be the greatest. I can't. Okay, well, it's whatever you say. It's whatever you say. The bad and the bold say yes. I take all of it. I take all of it. That's what I kind of pitter pattered with. It's like, well, it's like we want a little bit of the power. Like I want power, but I don't want power. Like you think I want power in parts, like in that way, in that way. No, you either got it or you don't. You either got it or you don't. You either her or you're not. You either him or you're not. You either can make shit shake or you're not. Like I really had to have this conversation with myself. Like some shit should be absolutely unacceptable. It should just you should be disgusted. Disgusted. Like fed the F up. We tolerate. We tolerate. That's what led to me cussing somebody out because I tolerated. And my mind was like, no, I got it. It's not whatever. I just know how, whatever. I'm not even tripping over it. No, no, it's intolerable. I would no longer tolerate this shit. I don't like being around losers. I don't like being around lazy people. I don't like being around people who make excuses. I don't like being around people who complain. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. I don't like being around people who sloppy. I don't. Act like you give a damn. Make people who give a damn great again. Those are people I want to be around. That's what I want to see. I want my environment to look like that. I want my neighborhood to look like that. That's my next move. That's why every time I see, I'm like, that's it right there. People who give a damn. I like to see clean roads. I like to see clean sidewalks. Shit look orderly. Yes, cleanliness is next to godliness. That's that. Nothing other than that. Okay, it's exceptional. Some people are not interested in that. And that's okay. You just got to get your ass away from me. And I, coming from that whole, what did that start with? Inventing the person who can take the beatings. What allowed me to survive? What allowed me to survive was I taught myself to go without things. I taught myself how to go without things. I learned that poverty taught me that. I'm gonna be honest, I think, it's not that it's bad altogether. Because I know how to live, right? Nothing makes me afraid when it comes to like stuff running out. Like, no, food running out. You can't scare me with shit like that. Like, nigga, I could survive off of, get you a bag of beans. It's beans and rice, nigga. You can eat for like a week. What you talking about? The whole family. Like, so, but what it taught me was it taught me to go without, be okay without poverty consciousness. Ugh. It served its purpose, but no. So what I did was it was like, oh, that's cool, that's nice, but I don't have to have it. See, whatever you don't have to have, then your funky ass ain't gonna have it. You better tell yourself, I got to live like this. What is it that you got to have? I need to know that. You need to know that. What is it that you can't live without? I'm tired of people talking about what they'll die for. I want to know what you'll live for. What you'll live for. What do you have to have? Like, I can't breathe without it. I can't breathe. Oh my God. I need it. Like, I need to see things look a certain way. I need to be in certain environments. I need to eat the best. I got to. That's what speaks to me. It ain't no conviction. It's like we just dilly-dallying. Like, well, I want to be happy. What does that look like? You want to be happy? What does it look like? What is your ideal holiday? Maybe you don't want to celebrate no holidays. Maybe you want to start a new holiday. I don't know. But damn, be moved by something. I really want to make my impossible possible. Then it's done. Ain't no one. It's done. It's like, okay. Like, it's done. That conviction. That's, to me, that's what true faith is. Like, if I just decided, I've decided things for a long time ago. And I remember just feeling like periods of despair over the past, few years. It would come in and out, and I couldn't really understand why. I looked at that vision board that I had, and I had accomplished some of the things up there. Some of the things up there I had bought, I had gotten, but it didn't mean shit. And I was curious why that was. I'm like, well, look, you got that car, you got the drop top, you know what I'm saying? You got it up there, you got it, you driving it. Like, you got that, you done been there, right? Why? Why is I still unhappy? Because I won't doing it my way. And that's what I figured out. I'm here to do it my way. Nothing else will satisfy. And I ain't afraid to say it anymore. I ain't afraid to acknowledge it anymore. Many of us is like, you got to step in the driver's seat. You got to get your ass need to be in position. We playing like, it's like all the fools have all the confidence in the world. The dumbasses, like, they got all the confidence in the world. Like, yeah, let me tell y'all some dumb shit I came up with today. Like, this is what is true or not. But it's those of us who have the heart and the intention, the love, the like, we second guess. We second guess. So glad for another live. Appreciate you. We second guess. Why do we do that? 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 I don't know. I don't have the answer. Unless I come back to fear. That's the only thing. Self-doubt. Like, considering what could go wrong instead of considering what could go right. To think right now, like, if you would just put your foot in the sand, is it a foot in the sand or a stick in the sand or fork in the sand, whatever, that your life is changing. Like, as of today, your life is changing. Appreciate you, Ty. Like, if you just decided that, like, a year from now, not that it's gonna take a year, right? Don't put that in your spirit, because I don't operate like that, right? Not that it's gonna take a year, but just a year from now, that your life will look nothing like it looks now. To just accept that. To stop trying to. Why do we get? I know why, right? But why do we get so bothered when the people that we know don't congratulate us or support what we got going on? Why do you care? I know why you care, but why do you care? It's like over 8 billion people on the planet. You don't even know. Like, I sat and thought about that. Like, look, do you realize you ain't even met some of the greatest people you will ever meet yet? You ain't even met them. Like, people be tripping over loves and all of that. Like, you don't even know what's waiting. You don't even know what's on the other side of you just being stuck in telling this own funky story. You don't even know what type of people who are wonderful friends and wonderful partners and wonderful. And we just stuck in this story. And because, people ain't there for me like I'm there for them, we don't care anymore. That's what I mean by not even allowing that. That's a suggestion that comes in. Just tell yourself from this day forward, that's not how my life looks. My life looks amazing. I am the best. I attract the best. I'm living my ideal life. I'm in my ideal city, ideal state, ideal country, ideal family. I'm doing what I want to do. I actually feel good. I'm making money without working myself down to the bone. Like, that's some bullshit. Shout out to all. Somebody gave me a quote, a stat the other day. I don't know where it is. Was it like 18 to 24? Damn, what was it? It was like between the 18 and 24-year-olds are making more. We don't know. I don't know what it is. Doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is, shout out to those who are in that age range, and you have figured out how to step into financial independence already. Salute to you. I love that shit. That's all I surround myself with. That's what I want to see. I want to see on my timeline people who are living well. I want to see on my timeline people who are making money in unconventional way. I mean, balling. Don't play with it. Ball out. I want to see it. Let me see your new ride. I love it. Well, no, Rook, that's the problem. That's the problem because it's just materialism and shut up. Shut up. I don't, that's somebody else's reality. In my reality, people are living well and they're still good people. They're still honorable people. They still have integrity. If you know that you have a good heart and you moving with good intentions, who else needs to get the money other than you? Why would you leave the money to the people who you say destroying everything, who just shitting on everything? You see, we sound crazy. Who else needs to be a millionaire other than you? You already know what you would do, how you would do it, the things that are important. So you have a responsibility. Yeah. Yeah. I want to see it. I want to see people living. Every time I see, like, my timeline is full of like people in love and getting engaged, and the algorithm just been shooting it to me, shooting it to me. Why? Because it's a reflection of me. Because I am love. So of course I'm gonna see evidence of love. I am peace and harmony. Of course I'm gonna see evidence of that. I love the algorithm, and the algorithm loves me. I ain't beefing with nobody. I love technology. I don't know what y'all out here doing with technology. I don't know what you out here doing. You supposed to be a leader. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be leading conversations of power. But you know what you're doing? You're following conversations of pity. You're joining in on everybody getting laid off and the robots and the AI. You're supposed to be figuring out how to make AI work for you. That's what you're supposed to be figuring out how to do. You're supposed to, under no circumstance, be considering anything that makes you afraid. That by default. If you don't know nothing else, I will not entertain fear. I don't care if it's about technology. I don't care if it's about relationships. I don't care if it's about money. I don't care if it's about marriage. I don't care if it's about the government or other fucking countries. I do not entertain fear. I do not let that in my house. What is that quote? Was that an Apocalypse movie? I love that quote. When it first comes on, and I got this folder that I keep in my notes, or like all my favorite movies and series and authors and books, right? So I just keep my favorite quotes. Um, I can't think of the name of the movie, but I think it's the Apocalypse movie, and they don't speak damn English the whole movie, right? But they're out in the woods in the jungle, and I don't remember the whole storyline, but all I know is the younger, the son is on the lookout for like other hunters coming in to do whatever. And I'm assuming it was his father who could sense the fear. And he said, "You don't bring fear into our village. Don't you understand? Just your fear of it makes it real. You bring it alive, you draw it." Oh, Apocalypto? Is that the name of it? You know the one I'm talking about? I love that shit. I love it. Oh, I wish I was on the computer because I'd find it and not share it. I'd play it. I don't know if I could play it up here though without the copyright. It doesn't even matter, right? The point is you don't entertain it. You gotta have some like here's something to think about. What's your fundamentals? What's your fundamentals? Like what do you operate from? Like you gotta have some baselines, like some fundamental things, right? That it's a guide, a creed. You gotta have some tenets, something that you live by, something that you establish for yourself. Right? There are just certain things that I ain't gonna do. Okay. I was to the point where you know what? I will risk losing everything and everybody. I'll sell everything other than ass. See, that's a fundamental belief of mine. I ain't selling no ass. I don't care how bad it get. I ain't selling ass. I just don't think I have to do that. So we're not doing it. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it. So you got to. I'm being funny, but I'm being serious. Oh, that's the movie. Okay, yeah, masterpiece. Masterpiece, huh? You never let fear in. This is what we have to be teaching our children. I didn't learn these things until, I didn't really wake up probably until my daughter was like 11, right? So she got for the first 10 years the sleepwalker as her mama. I mean, I still was tapped in though. It's interesting that there was still certain things that I still was like in my radar, like even health things was still right. Like I knew something was up with the shots. When they started trying to give her all these shots, like I was still tapped in, but not tapped in, if that makes sense. Um, but the fear is the big one. That's the big one. That's the you have to have a no tolerance for that. A no tolerance policy. Don't bring your fear in here with nobody. I don't care what it is. Because I think that will cover everything when it comes to the matrix. When it comes to disease and catching shit, no fear. When it comes to the money, the economy collapsing, no fear. When it comes to technology and technology taking over, no fear. When it comes to politicians who in office, no fear. When it comes to relationships and whether there'll be a good partner for you, no fear. You should have no fear. You should be so confident in who you are because it's really I got to do that video. I've been talking about it for a while. Like Christians are the real antichrist. They really are. They are the exact opposite of everything this Christ character figure represented. They fear everything, including themselves. Including themselves. That's why they fear. Like, yeah, I'm looking for a God fearing man. I used to say that. That's stupid. What does that even mean? What does that even mean when you say that? Why are you fearing God? Now, if you use it in its proper tense, meaning reverence and awe, okay, I might could go with it, but that's not why you're using it. Like, yeah, y'all don't be playing with God. Why? Why? Is God gonna get you? That's what your God does? He gonna get you? Gonna punish you? Why would your God punish you? It's kind of weird. I thought you had free will. No, you got free will, but if you don't make the right choice, right? You got free will to choose, but if you don't make the right choice, there's gonna be a penalty. But then I don't have free will then. Like you choose freely, but if you choose wrong, there will be death for you. I guess. I guess. This is why everybody crazy. When you believe things like that. When you fear God, you fear yourself. When you fear God, you fear yourself. That's what you're doing. You fear yourself. That's why we don't have confidence in Confidence in decision making. That was a big one. Like realizing, like, bruh, make a decision. Even if it's a bad one, at least make it. Make a decision. If you're gonna stay, stay. And then shut up about it. If you're gonna leave, leave. And don't have regrets. Okay? If you're gonna love, love. Hell, if you're gonna hate, hate. Like, I like people that give their all in whatever their thing is, even if it's some bullshit. Do it. Do it with all your heart. I would appreciate that a lot more. At least I know that you're being real. That's real to you. Even if it ain't the ideal, but fine. At least it's real to you. At least you're being genuine. That's what's most of interest to me. Our emotions have a vibratory frequency to them. There are only two emotions that humankind experience: fear and love, while other emotions branch either directly or indirectly from these two. Who is EB? I got to do this for 72 hours. Let's go. Dialing in, like really dialing in. And this is why you can't, when your life is kind of okay, right? You live okay, right? You really don't, like, you can pay your bills. You got a decent job. You might even have a spouse, or you're in a relationship. It's okay. You might have kids. They cool, right? They doing what they're supposed to do for the most part. Erica Badu. Oh, okay. You're in good health for the most part. Your family in good health for the most part. Why are you still unhappy? You ever ask yourself that? Why am I unhappy? Because usually the first thing that people do is judge themselves. They condemn themselves. Like, you have no reason to be unhappy. You should be grateful. You should be thankful for this. You should be thankful for that. That's the first thing people say. Well, you got a job and you making good money. Why are you complaining? Because I don't fucking like it. That's why. What do you mean? I just told you why. I hate going. I feel sick to my stomach when I drive there. Well, but you making good money? Oh God. Okay. All right. That's why I hope people get the money that they're after so that they can find out, like, damn, actually got to be a little bit more to it than that. And I want people to get money. Adam said, I'm happy and I don't have much. Well, I mean, that's a matter of perspective, right? What's much and what's more? Like, it just depends. It depends on what you require and depends on what you desire. If you got what you desire, then you got a lot, right? You got a lot. There's some people who are in a big house, in a fancy car, and they got all the things. They're vacationing, they're doing that, and they feel like they have very little because they don't have themselves. You ever been in the midst of people and feel lonely? You ever been around? And that's what holiday times become for a lot of people. It's like, I'm around people. What is that stupid slogan they had from COVID? We're alone together. That's kind of what people are doing. Like, they're in the midst. Like, people are congregating, they're fellowshipping, but they're alone. That's what gets so scary when you come across somebody who can see you. You be like, oh snap, wait, how you see me? How you see me? You weren't supposed to see me. You were not, wait, huh? I think you have a lot, Adam. You see what I'm, listen, let me tell you right now, you can't be listening to Rook the Great and not have it. You can't. It's an impossibility. It's an assumption I have. The people that can hear me, they got it. The people who can hear me are the ones. They are. They are. I only attract the best. Is it natural for our desire to change? Absolutely. Every year, I technically am doing better jobs, making more, improved living situation, but I still haven't achieved everything I envisioned. Okay. What's the problem with that? Or is that a part of me I still need to quiet down? No, I don't believe in that. Like, I will get to the root of it, right? Because sometimes the external pursuit is linked to some internal calling, some internal, what's the word? Like I don't want to say deficiency, but we will continue to accomplish things on the outside to offset something within us that needs to be fed. That's what a lot of, and I know this from ladies get mad about the whole independent woman thing. But for many of us, that's what it was about. Well, I'm gonna be honest, my whole independent thing, I don't know what this new stuff is. Me being an independent woman never had anything to do with Xing out a man. That wasn't. I never saw me just being by myself doing what that wasn't. I don't know where that part came out. It wasn't like me exclusive of men. However, mine came from, again, my connection with my mother. That was my driver. I'm gonna save my family. So you can kiss my ass about any other opinion you got about it. It was about survival, that I got it. I'm gonna put it on my back. I'll get us there. You got me up until this point, mama. I appreciate you. I'm gonna make sure that you don't have to worry about money anymore. You don't have to worry about working yourself to death anymore. You don't have to worry about how you're gonna live in the later years. You don't have to worry about living in no raggedy ass trailer. Like, I got it. That was my driver, that I can see. And since I can see, I know I can get us there. Now, the pursuit, going to college, getting one degree, getting another degree. I was about to get my PhD. That started to play more into, like, there's nothing wrong with accomplishments, but there were some internal things that I needed to address. I didn't know who I was. So I was getting fed externally to compensate for the starvation that was happening internally. And that will never work. You will kill yourself doing that. It will never work. Like, because it will never satisfy. You can get more degrees, you can get better jobs, you can make more money, right? And it'll never satisfy. That's the problem with it. Not that, so just because you see, and I'm using women for an example because this kind of is a hot topic, discussion, right? Just because you see a woman who's successful, it doesn't mean that she's not in tune with herself. It doesn't mean that she's not centered. It doesn't mean that she doesn't know who she is. That's the case sometimes. That has become this going theme of, hey, focus on this and go and go and go, because it's a overcompensation type of thing is happening. But so I had to address that. But don't worry, life will take care of that. Don't worry. And mine came by way of sickness. So I was a straight hustler. I was a straight, work it, beat it, let's go. Burnt, like, I can, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Grind, 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 grind. Yeah, it ain't but so much beating of the body you're gonna do. And for women in particular, we really ain't cut like that. We ain't cut for that type of living. So you will start seeing, it's a reason why endometriosis used to be called the working woman disease. Yeah, they won't call it that anymore. Right? It's just taboo, right? You can't. In this day and age, you can't say things like that because it's like offensive to women and working women and da 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 da. But why did they coin it that? Because they found a correlation between women who worked and the diseases that they were developing. So, yeah, it's you can't run away from self. That's the bottom line. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. The fellas are dealing with the same thing, just in the kind of in reverse. So they're built to work. They're built for the hustle, putting the shit on their back. However, they're neglecting soul. They're neglecting heart. It's really everybody doing the same thing, honestly. It looks different. It's the same shit. So this whole idea that they're going to live and now deny themselves. right? Deny themselves of love, deny themselves of a woman. It's like, oh, all the women are just bad. So I'm just gonna screw women and get what I can get out of them. Try to get the youngest ones because they ain't well established yet, so I can take advantage of them. I can program them and do whatever I want and yada like okay, let's see how it works. See, I like life. I don't have a problem with society in general because I know everything is working exactly the way it's supposed to. I know everything is a reflection of us. The collapse that we're seeing is a reflection of us. We're in the midst of a course correction. That's what's happening. You don't have to worry about technology. You don't have to worry about like people can't live on. You can't just even we do this. We could do this every day, right? It's never going to take the place of human interaction. Never. And the more we starve it, the more by default we create the desire for it. So the more you try to starve human interaction, the more you create the desire for it. The more you try to convince people that they can exist without love, the more you create the need and the desire for it. So it's like, it's all good. People are finding out what is going to work and what isn't going to work. That's why you see things collapsing. It needs a collapse. It needs a collapse. More. I want to see more. Tear it all down. There's no fixing. And I see people still trying to fix, like, how you gonna fix the system? That's the silliest shit. In the words of Michelangelo, you critique by creating. Okay, that's how you critique. Get to creating. You create the world you want. You create the system and how you think it needs to be done. You have critique about women, then you become that woman. You have critique about men, you become that man. You have a critique about what relationships and marriages need to look like, then give us the example. Nobody care about your funky ass opinion because you can point out what's wrong with the world. You'll get a gold star for that. Everybody can point out what's wrong. No, take no special skill to do that. Shit. Still unsettled inside. Okay. Ask yourself why. It's a communion. And to me, this is an opportunity to commune. That's what I did 2 years. When was this? The beginning of 2023. I just sat down on the floor, which is like my favorite spot. And I was like, something is wrong. And I don't know what it is. I feel like some days I barely like it's hard to breathe. Nothing physically is wrong with me. Like I'm in great, I'm working out, I'm doing out. Like I know nothing physically is wrong with me, but I'm like something is wrong, and I don't know what it is, and I need to know what it is. I need make it clear to me. Now, did I really not know? Like we ask these questions, we pose these questions, like we want to ask somebody, we want to ask the universe, we want to pray to a God. That's fine. It's no problem. It's no problem. But reality is, we already know. But sometimes that's needed. Sometimes it feels good to pass it over. You knowing that when you make the request, right, you're still talking to yourself. So it's cool. But I don't know what it is. Make it clear. And in less than 4 months, my life started to collapse. Mama said, be careful what you ask for. The life that I knew beginning, I asked in January is when we did our first of the year challenge in the group, and yeah, it's. I was like, I told everybody to set an intention, and I set my intention. And I was like, I really just need to know what's wrong with me. Something is wrong with me. I feel like the life is coming out of me. Like some days I can barely breathe. I have no problems, no issues are going on. Like my house is cool for the most part. Like I live well, right? I'm living in a great neighborhood, a great house, and like I got things like but I feel like I'm dying and I don't know why. And my life started to collapse. That was in January. The collapse started. I saw something. I told this story before. I saw something in February, I think it was. It was a tweet that somebody was talking about how people are living an illusion. and that they're not actually in healthy situations. They're in situations where they're avoiding hard conversations, that people aren't really saying what they really feel, because if they did, the whole shit would collapse. And that shit struck a chord. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I read it several times. I knew it was true, and I knew it was talking about me. It was what I needed to see in that moment. See, everything is good. Everything can be a sign. But I knew, right? And so you'll get signs because you think you need signs. You don't need a sign. You just think you need one. Fine. We'll give your ass a sign. We'll give you repeating numbers. We'll give you a message. You'll scroll on YouTube and find somebody saying something. You don't need a message or a sign. You know what to do. But you feel like you need a sign. Okay, well, here you go. See, that's the beautiful part. You're going to always get what you need when you need it. But after that, my life started to collapse, and I knew I had to make a change. And that's the moral of this story about being unhappy. Unhappy is a sign that something has to change. And if nothing changes, then you're going to stay unhappy. Congratulations. You're going to stay miserable. Some people choose that. Some people choose the path of unhappy for the rest of their life. I just can't do it. I physically can't do it. Like, I can't. I don't know how. I'm incapable. I'm incapable of being in environments that don't speak to me. I'm incapable coming back. What was the original statement? Doing things without love and intention. I don't want to do it. I don't like it. Eh. Whatever the world is doing, I want them to keep doing it. I'm just talking about what I can do, what works for me. And that shit don't work for me. Mm. With this info, 2026 finna be your best year yet. Love this for you. Who is that? Me? I accept that. I receive that. I'm gonna tell you right now. Somebody, let me see if I still got it that they sent me. It was a great question that I think it was Emilio sent this to me, and he was asking about what I thought changed about. Let me see if I can find it. Like what I did. What did he say? What did I did to change? Or no, he said, when you talk about your old self in comparison to your current self, did you feel like one day you surrendered yourself to God? Like, here it is. You run from this from now on. I leave this character in your hands. I'll just free myself of the task and watch, like an ego death. Like it ain't you who is running you. I guess you could, I guess you could look at it like that. Like you could. This is what my response was. I think you could look at it that way. Like there is something greater that I keep feeling pulled towards. But instead of questioning or trying to make sense of it, I'm going to stop fighting and aligning with it. That's what a surrender is. You already know what to do. You've already said yes. That's why the things speak to you. That's why you feel like you already know the surrender is I'm no longer going to tussle with it. I'm no longer going to debate it. I'm no longer going to question if I'm the one, if I'm qualified, if I'm ready. I just say I'm ready. I just say I'm ready. I am the one. Can't nobody do this shit the way I can do it. Nobody. We could be doing the same thing. You can't do it the way I do it. Nobody can say it the way I can say it. That it is me. Yes. yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I said ego death and then a rebirth of that ego. Because the ego is still an aspect of me. I'm not anti-ego. I want to make that clear. I'm not fighting no ego. I'm not. The only time I fight the ego, I'm gonna tell you, the ego wins. I don't even give it now the idea that it can tussle with me. I just put it in its place. I see you. I know what you're for. I like you, and this is how I put you to use. So now I'm not only aware of it, but I can recognize when it's offering me a limited perspective, and I can choose to go along with that perspective, right? Or I can choose differently. So it's a choice. Now, we're not trying to, we're not saying anything new. Like when I say anything new, it's the same shit that's cycling year after year, decade after decade, century after century, millennial after millennial. It's the same thing. Choose what is that you want. Say yes to you. Focus on all that you are, all the power that you are, the greatness that you are, your abilities. Stop focusing on what you're not good at. Dial in on you being exceptional, what you are good at, what works for you, and we fight it. No, let me tell you, because that was my thing. Old me was like, I couldn't even take a compliment. And one day, my one of my coworkers was like, "Damn, can't you just say thank you?" Like you gotta. Well, actually, the presentation wasn't that good. I should have worked more on this. Actually, I should have, improved this. I actually didn't do. Like, can you just say thank you? You got on a nice dress. Well, this is old. Well, somebody gave it to me. Can't you just say thank you, bitch? Damn. Like that. I don't know anything else. People always arguing about what needs to be taught, whether it's at home or in schools. And it's a debate between whether it's money and it's history and it's this. No, self-concept, self-confidence, self-esteem. Teach that. You teach that, all the other stuff gonna fall in line. You teach it. We can teach money concepts. People don't even believe that they're worthy of having money. So now what? Now what? Like you can teach about, this is the inner workings of how you do a business and do whatever. I don't even believe in myself enough that I can have a business. So what does it matter? You can get information is not the problem. We got information everywhere. Every platform, every form, short form, long form, video, audio. You think information is the problem? No. No, it's not information is the problem. It's what we choose to do with it and we choose not to do with it. It's how we see ourselves. It's how we see ourselves. When you don't see yourself as being capable, it doesn't matter how much information you have. When you don't see yourself being worthy, it doesn't matter how much information you have. You're going to find a way why it won't work for you. You're going to find a way why they got to be scamming. You got to find a way where they daddy gave them some money. That's how they doing it. Well, they white, so that's why it worked for them. Well, they're a woman. They got a special grant. Like, it's always some reason. Ugh, makes me sick. Makes me sick. Maybe just Narvi said, that's exactly where I've gotten in my life. I can't keep going on miserable, and every situation making me miserable is pushing me to fix it. Yeah. And sometimes the fix it is to leave it behind. Sometimes that's the fix. Sometimes the fix is just leave it. Like just leave it. Just leave it. This is I see people that are talking about, and I see why people get turned off by marriage. Because when you start hearing people talk about how hard it is, it's like people that's been together for 20, 30 years, and the first thing that they talk about is how hard it is, how hard it is. And it never gets easier. Like, God darn, like y'all are terrible representatives. I wouldn't want to do the shit either. Like, golly, it's still hard. It's still this. Is it what? Tell me the joy. Tell me Tell me why it's worth it. Tell me why it's worth it. Tell me why it makes you come alive. What makes you come alive? Can you answer that question? Your marriage don't make you come alive? Then what are you doing? Well, everything can't make you come alive, bro. Then well, I don't know why not. what what makes you come alive? Does anything make you come alive? Or do you ever come alive? So it's not just talking yourself into it, but also not continuing to talk yourself out of it. Got it. I think that's the most important thing. Not talking yourself out of it. That whole like fixing Like, think about affirmations and think about affirming and getting into new assumptions. If you just made one new assumption about life for yourself, just don't contradict it. No matter what comes up, no matter what you experience, if you say, I no longer have to work hard for money, don't contradict it. Don't think anything outside of that. Don't accept anything outside of it. If you say, I am love and I attract love and I attract the most loving people, even if you went on 10 dates and all of those people are assholes, that new assumption don't change. This is what I said, despite what I'm seeing right now. Despite what I'm seeing right now, this is the truth for me. I am now writing. I've written a new story. I've changed the whole script now. From now on, no, I don't have childhood issues. No, I don't have daddy issues. No, I'm not still holding on to what happened to with my first ex and how he just betrayed me in this horrible way. I am love. I attract love. I attract the most loving people. What else is there? It's the contradicting. When the Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, it's the back and forth. It's the back and forth shit. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Your spirit always says yes. God always says yes. It's you that say no. You start looking at the clock. Maybe I'm getting too old. You start listening to dummies online. Maybe it's because I got 2 kids already. Maybe it's because, I don't make enough money. Maybe I'm too short for her. Or maybe I can't get a woman like that because, like, that's you. That's you. That's your fault that you entertain bullshit. And that comes back to the house. What do you allow in your house? Why would you allow anything in your mental house that speaks against you not getting and being what you want? That's insane because nobody can control that but you. I can see, like, you're not in, like, there's nobody's programming you. No, nobody is torturing you and forcing you, like, to listen to something over and over. Those are suggestions that are coming up, and you accept them, and that's why you're unhappy. That's why you're unhappy. You're unhappy because you accept bullshit. You're unhappy because somebody told you that this is how life works, and you accepted it. Why would you go along with it? Why are we listening to people who are unhappy about life? I'm not listening to no old heads. Like, I don't want no old head relationship advice, marriage advice. I didn't see how y'all living. No, no, no. You got 20, 30 years of trash. No. You don't even sleep in the same rooms. You don't even kiss each other. You don't have fun with each other. You don't like each other. You don't talk about anything other than the business of, oh, we got to go here. Somebody got a birthday party. Oh, I need to pick the kids up. Oh, we got to, yeah, the accountant call. We got to do this. That's the only thing. You talk about logistics. You got like a little roommate thingy going on. No, nobody cares what you have to say about relationships. Nobody. Not even you. Okay. So, no, we're not listening to fools give advice. If we could remember as a rule of thumb, a lot of the crap, I'm not going to say most, a lot of this crap you're hearing online is pain. It's pain speaking. It's pain. People have made unfavorable decisions, right? And now they are bitter and broken about the decisions. And now they're coming to tell you why you should be bitter and broken like me. I'm going to tell you why it's over. The dating market is trash. How can the dating market be trash if you're in the dating market? The dating market got to be good just because you in it. No, no. How can the world be going to hell if you're in heaven? Ain't you in this world in some capacity? Okay. All right. Dr. Magnet says, I'm in med school. That's what's up. Shout out to you. I just messed up an important exam. I was about to say, no, you didn't. I revised it, but my school asked me to take a year off. I don't want to. I want to continue. I must continue now. No more waiting. Thoughts? I thought you said you revised it. Stay in it. Stay in that story that is done. That is revised. That you don't have to take a year off. Just stay in the story that this is not an issue. That you get to continue just like you thought you would. I'd stay there and not be moved by how it looks. Like I think you got to really turn on what some people might refer to as the crazy. Like I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what they say. I don't care what the notes say. I don't care what the policy is. I had that happen to me when I was in college, and I lost my no. What was happening? Did I lose my? I lost my financial aid first because I had a dumbass advisor told me that I could drop a class when I really was at my. You know how financial aid works. You have to progress and take a certain amount of classes each semester to still stay in good standings for financial aid. But anyway, the dumbass told me that I could do it, and I dropped the class. And then they told me, well, you're not eligible for financial aid. Well, they got, we broke, so I can't go to school without financial aid. So, and I was like, well, you can go to summer school, but you got to pay for it. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. My mama ain't got no money. Okay, well, I don't have no money. So they sent me on this thing to talk about. Now, this one wasn't even the hardest one, right? Because I ended up going and I had to talk to a couple of people, went to financial aid, and it was one lady. There's always this nice little, like everybody got a story of being in school, especially in the HBCU. At least one nice older black lady is in a financial aid office who looked out like, okay, baby, I'm gonna see what I can do. But no, I don't know. Anyway, they worked it out. I was able to get financial aid to go to summer school. And then that put me back in good standings, getting those additional classes. I was straight for the fall. But the real kicker came when it was time to graduate. And so I graduated high school early. Then I had to take a semester off. I only took like one online class. I ended up getting pregnant. I took a semester off, only took like one online class during that time because I was on bed rest. And so that threw me off with as far as like progress. Anyway, I wanted to still graduate on time. And I go to see my advisor. He's like, listen, you're not going to be able to graduate on time. Oh, no, I'm graduating on time. He's like, it's not a big deal. You just have to come back in the fall, take a couple, classes. No, you don't understand. I'm graduating on time. He said, I understand, but I understand you want to graduate, but is no way, like it's impossible for you to graduate because even if you go to summer school, there's a limit of classes. You would need 21 classes. No, was it 19 classes? So the max classes you could take for summer school, I believe it was 12 hours, and I needed like 19 or 20, something like that. He was like, so it's like you can go to summer school, but you're still not, like, it's impossible. There's no way that they don't allow you to take more than 12 hours. I said, I am graduating on time. So I go and talk to the chairperson of the department. They tell me the same thing. Okay. I go and talk to somebody else in the office. There's another lady I like to talk to, and I think I was still in my department, in my building. I was in technology. They tell me the same thing. Okay, you don't understand. Okay. I'm graduating on time because I've already said I'm graduating on time. And I told my mama I'm graduating on time. I don't care about the time that I had to take off or getting pregnant. I don't care about none of that shit. They kept trying to tell me that it wasn't that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. You're still going to graduate. You just have to come back and take an extra. No. Long story short, they told me, I finally talked to somebody and they said, listen, what everybody has told you is true. There's no way, like we can't even override it in the system. Like we physically can't add you this many classes for summer school. She said the only possibility, she said, and I don't even know if you can get to the chancellor, but the only way this can happen is you're gonna have to talk to the chancellor. You got to go to the chancellor's office. All right, the chancellor is the top. That's the president of the damn university. Okay, bad. Okay, I'm going to the chancellor's office. So I walked my ass on the other side of, I don't know, I might have drove, walked, whatever, to the other side because the chancellor's office is all the way on the other side of the university. And the gatekeepers to get to the chancellor, like, you know how many people you got to get through to get even to the chancellor's secretary or executive assistant. So I'm like, listen, this is an emergency. And I tell the story multiple times to multiple people. Listen, I have to talk to the chancellor, and I need to talk to the chancellor today because I need to get these classes, and they're telling me blah, 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 blah. I finally get to the person who's right in front of the chancellor's assistant, his executive assistant, right, his secretary. But she going to lunch. They was like, well, I don't know if she's coming right back. Oh, I'll wait. So I literally sit and wait like 2 hours for her to get back. She gets back. I tell her the story. She says, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the chancellor, but let me hold on. She finally talks to the chancellor's assistant, and she says, if you can wait, you can see her. We'll fast forward the story because you already know where I'm going. I got my shit. Talked to the chancellor. Got it approved. And I took those 20 out. Now, how I took all those classes, I was like, listen, you ain't got to worry. I'm going to pass the classes because that's the reason they have a limit. It's like you don't want students taking it and then you're not passing it because summer school is only like 8 weeks. So it's a heavy load. I was like, you ain't got to worry about that. I'm passing it because I got to graduate. So I got it approved and I got the classes. I will say that I will take that as an opportunity to lead to this. That's who I'm here for. I'm here for the motherfuckers who won't take no for an answer. Yeah. Who won't take no for an answer. I ain't taking no for an answer. I don't, did you understand how many roadblocks? All I had to do was just say, okay, well, damn. I would have called my mom like, yo, apparently, the time that I took off, threw my hours off, I'm not going to be able to graduate. She would have understood. She would have understood. I just was not going to take no for an answer. I thought about that the other day, like, which is something I saw something about superpower. Like, what's my superpower? You ever thought about that? What is my superpower? And I was like, oh, I know. I know my superpower. My superpower is the inability to stay down. I can't stay down. I can't take no for an answer. I don't care how long. I don't care. I don't care. I just made a decision. I made a decision. I don't give a damn how long it takes. Now, I probably shouldn't have written in 10 years. For some reason, I had this 10-year number in my head for certain things, and it ended up taking me 10 years. I shouldn't have done that, right? Because it probably wouldn't have taken me 10 years. But since I locked into that story, like that was like a acceptable time frame to just develop and work, and it could have possibly still done it anyway, but I wouldn't do that again, right? But I told myself, I said, what if you just said, this is what I'm going to experience. This is what I'm going to get, no matter if it take me 10, 20, I wouldn't care if it took me 30 years. It's not about the time. It's about the act of saying, I'm so willing. One, I'm so sure of myself, but I'm so open and willing that I would pursue it that long. That's what it means to me. It means that much to me. You got to figure out what means something to you. If it don't mean that much to you, then whatever. That's why I asked the question, what is it that you got to find out? What is it that you need to know this lifetime? What is it that you can't live without? What is it that you can't live without? I can't live without a life of love. I can't do that no more. When I wrote that shit on that mirror, I can't live like that no more. I can't live unhappy. I can't. I tried. I can't live taking the beatings no more. I done took enough. Don't work for me. Don't work for me. Ugh. I can't live tap dancing around people, pretending like I'm fit into something that I don't. I can't live feeling obligated. I want to move in love. If I ever tell you that I love you, trust me. Trust me. It's because I love you. Like I don't say those words. And I had to catch myself one time. You know, people just randomly like, yeah, 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 I love you, I love you. And I was like, yeah, I love you too. And then I thought about it, like, no, I don't. No, I don't, nigga. Like, I got love for you, right? You know how you know. You know how you love a person? It's because you see God in them. You'll know. When you really love a person, you see their perfection. That's what's described as a mother's love. A mother's love, all she sees is her baby. She sees the perfection. They go out and do all sorts of stupid shit. They get older, they could get into crime, could get into all sorts of crazy things. And the mother still sees the best in them. She sees the God in them. That's what love is. And when we are toying with people and tussling with people and miserable people and annoying people and people who just ruffle our feathers and disturb our spirit because we don't love them. Love is complete. Love is whole. When I love you, when I see God in something, I see the whole picture. That's what that means. People are loving in part. Like people are loving, it's like fractured love. It's like pieces of. This is why it wanes, it fades, because the wholeness isn't there. There are some people who have been married 10, 20 years, and you wouldn't even think, you would think that they were still in what people call the romance. No, not the romance. What is it called? Like what do they call it? What is it called? Marriage, newlywed stage. Like you're like, oh, did y'all just get married? No, we've been married for 20 years. Why? Because they love each other. They've merged in mind and in spirit. You know the difference. Everybody knows the difference. And it's inspiring. Every time you see it, it moves you. If you see, unless you're dead on the inside. Honeymoon phase, thank you. Yeah. But you're inspired by it. When we see the images, it's why we need to see more images of it. We need to see it. I think people need to have more. Now, I'm not talking about no raunchy shit, but I mean, we need to see more public displays of affection. That's what I started to notice. I started to notice that I was telling my aunt, one of my aunts, when her husband passed, I said, I never told you this, but as a little girl, I didn't make sense of it at the time. I noticed how you two loved each other. You were the only couple that I saw in the whole family who were affectionate with one another. I saw how you would sit in his lap. I saw how y'all would kind of lean into each other and have y'all own little thing going and y'all kind of laugh and giggle between. I saw how he, affectionately touched you. Like I noticed that. See, that's what wisdom is, the ability to recognize difference. I noticed it was something different about them than everybody else. And they were early on. Well, I'm trying to think. Yeah, because at the time, I think I was still young when they got married. So when she came around, yeah, when she came around, they weren't married yet. They got married when I don't remember how old I was, but and I told her that I said I thought about it years later as I got older, how special that was. And she went on to say, she said, I love that man. She said, I love that man. And I knew she meant it. When she said that thing, I know she meant it. She said, I loved him. And she said, and I know he loved me. I know it. She said it was nobody else like him, and nobody else saw me like he did. She said, and he taught me so many things and helped my, he just saw me. She said my confidence just wasn't, and I never knew this as a kid. Like I just thought she was fly. She was not, you know what I'm saying? She was cute. Like I never, she seemed like she was confident, so I didn't know. Right. But I struggled with like confidence and how I saw myself. But he would always check it. He would never let me see me less than I really was. I was like, wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. That other stuff, and I'm not banging on people, right? Because I understand that we're all in different levels, and there's different levels of awareness. And some of us are just not conscious. Sometimes you don't know. That's why I would never judge people who leave. I wouldn't. I know what it's like, but two, how you gonna judge somebody for making a decision, for stepping into something when they were one person and leaving something when they were a whole new person? Like I'm never shocked. I can't remember the last couple. It was a public couple who had been married for like 26 or 30 some years, and all the comments was like, how you stay together that long and divorce? Easy. Easy. I mean, it's easy. You think people don't change? And I don't mean change as in like surface level desires and stuff like that. No, I mean a fundamental shift in who you are. What would you do? What if you shift completely? Think about who you were when you weren't aware and you weren't conscious, right? And think about where you are now. Could you go back and date the same people? Hmm? Would you pick those same people now? Yeah. So trying to trap people. No, you made a decision and you stuck with it, nigga. No, deal with it. Pray about it. Like a person would tell you that they're suffering, like I'm dying right now. Well, we all been there. I know, but I feel like I'm barely gonna make it. Yeah, well, pray, just keep praying. I've been praying like for the last, 4 years. Well, sometimes you have to think about the struggles in life and what is like, bruh. What more does a person have to say? Like, like I'm dying. I'm barely making it through the days. Like I can't function like this no more. And people are like, well, just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep. No, no. Call me. Actually, don't, because I'm probably gonna give you the advice that you ain't gonna want to take. Actually, I don't give advice, right? I can speak for myself. What would make sense for me if I was in the same situation, but I can't give you advice because I don't know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. You have to make that. You got to pull the trigger. If you need to step, you got to step. If you need to lock in, like it goes both ways. Some people are afraid to leave a situation that they need to leave. Some people are afraid to enter a situation that they need to enter. That there's some beauty waiting for you. That there is some love waiting for you. There is possibility. Like there is like a fantastic partnership, relationship, marriage, all that is waiting for you, but you're too afraid. So it goes both ways. It's still a failure to decide to just make a decision and move into it, a failure to trust yourself. You see how we keep coming back to self-confidence? Because if I trust myself, if I got confidence in me, I know I can't get it wrong. God, shout out to the heart. Shout out to the heart. I waited long enough. I'm gonna need them to run me my and that's how you gotta look at life. Run me my shit. Straight up. Straight up. A tolerable level of permanent unhappiness. Ooh. A tolerant level of permanent unhappiness is what they were calling that. Yeah. 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 And that's where people are. So by the time we get to like being in social media, we are getting the results of people who are living unhappy, unfulfilled lives. who are trying to cope and make excuses, right? I'm trying to, because from the fellas side, the fellas have decided that this is what makes them more noble. We're not, women are so wish-washy. Women are like, they just emotional. They just think they can leave anytime things, they don't like things. And I will agree that sometimes people should stay. I do think sometimes people do quit things too quickly. I do. Okay, I can agree with that. But the whole idea that you chose misery and now you're trying to wear it as a badge of honor while also complaining about your own suffering, you have to choose which way, modern man. Which way? Which way? I told y'all this story about this guy who I knew, and he had money. See, a lot of the times it's like an issue of money. Like, you can't leave, you can't do this because it's money. You can't do this because it's money, right? The ramifications of doing this, what is it? Cheaper to keep her, blah, 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 blah. Well, this dude had money. He had money. Now, I ain't gonna say that he wanted to get up and come up off none of his money, but he had money. He had enough money to say, listen, just get the hell on. He did. And still would have been good. But this, I mean, and this woman, oof, I can't explain. She was special. This man stayed in misery for years. I could go, I don't want to go into a specific detail because I don't think nobody would know who I'm talking about, but it doesn't matter. It's not important. The point is, because of the wife, he was bleeding money in this particular area, strictly because of her. It was just something that she wanted to do and stick with, and he was just bleeding money all for years, all because he wouldn't make a decision, all because he had a prominent position in the community, right? No, he didn't say this. This is my assessment. That shit matters. You got to explain yourself. You got to explain. You done built a whole life around this image. And now you got to explain yourself. Like, to suffer. Like, to literally say, to say out of your mouth, like, I haven't been happy in years. And to not do nothing about it. Oh my God. So, ladies, don't trip when you see the fellas spiraling out of control online. That's pain talking. That's pain talking. That's all that is. That's just pain talking. And men who are in control of their lives, they not talking like that about women. They don't. Same thing for the fellas. When you see the women online and they just going in, it's pain talking. That's it. Those are decisions she made. She chose those men. She chose them. She chose them. She chose that baby daddy. Well, he won't like this at first. Well, still chose him. Still chose him. Deal with the choices that you've made. Take responsibility for your life. Now what? What are you gonna do? Now everybody just ain't shit because you dealt with one person who wasn't. The question, the thing, it comes down to this: you will stay miserable as long as you choose to stay miserable. As long as you can deal with it and tolerate it. See, there's one purpose in suffering if we wanted to give it a purpose. You know the purpose? To teach you to stop suffering. To teach you it's unnecessary. Let unhappiness teach you that it's not necessary. You could be happy today, tomorrow. Your whole life could just change in an instant. You could just decide 2025 is just, I'm done. This is the last year that I'm living like this. I will just deal with whatever ramifications that come up. I'm not going to be creating none by assuming there will be negative ramifications, but this is the last year that I'm going to not live the way I want. I have sacrificed for other people. I have considered other people. I've given. I've tolerated. I've been obligated to. I'm going to choose me. And I'm going to be okay with it. See, you got to reconcile with that. It sounds good, right? Like, yeah, this is going to be it. This is, I'm done. But are you going to be done? Or are you going to condemn yourself with that? Are you going to feel guilty about choosing yourself? Are you going to feel like something could go wrong because you're not there in this capacity or that capacity? Some of us have taken a parental role over other adults. We feel like it's our responsibility to take care of them. I felt like that. That's where my guilt came in. Like, okay, but I was supposed to make sure that they good. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to make sure that they I was supposed to make sure that I was there for them. Cope, cope. The need to be needed. Why? Why? Self abandonment. That's what that is. That's what that is. You ain't fooling nobody but yourself. Let me just tell you, I'm just take it from somebody. Just take it from somebody who knows you ain't fooling nobody but yourself. Like you're tricking yourself into being that this is what's making you a good person. It's not. And here's the sick part about it when you flip it in the other direction. The people that you are parenting, they deserve better. They do. They ain't even figured it out. They are capable. They're just as capable as you are. Like that dude who was like I can't remember. It was something that went viral. It's so embarrassing. Like if you gonna talk about your significant other, at least don't do the shit in public. Golly. But essentially, he was just saying how he didn't love the woman. He was just there, because of the kids or whatever. Like, you think that makes you a good person? You think that makes you a good man, a good father? You think the kids don't know? No, they don't know. Okay. Okay. You think energy? You think the only way that you teach is by way of your words? Is that what you think? You think your actions don't teach? You think your energy doesn't teach? You think your own resentment can't be felt? Is that what you think? That energy in you that radiates from you of resentment, of disgust, what other word can we put there? That's what you're teaching. I guess it's worth it. Just say you a punk. That's what you should do. That's what I had to look at myself and say. I was like, damn, I'm a coward. Oh, that hurt my See, nobody else's words can hurt me. It's my own. It's like, damn, I'm a coward. Because if I wasn't, there's no way I would ever live like I'm living. There'd be no way that I would accept less than my best. There's no way that I know. I mean, one thing when you don't know, sometimes we're living through life and we just don't know. Not talking about that. When you're just unconscious. But I'm saying when things come online for you and you know that you're out of order and that you don't like this anymore, you don't like living like this, you don't like this job anymore, you are fed up with being sick and you won't do anything about it, that's internal disgust. That's what corrodes you from the inside. I often wonder now when I went through my years of trying to, not even trying, but doing, right? When I got down really bad sick, I often wonder how much of what I was ignoring in my regular life attributed to that and worsened that. I often wonder. I already know the answer, but like you can't run from yourself. When the Bible says that every man will give an account, what do you think that means? You think you mean you're gonna die and you're gonna go in a line and wait your turn to go and meet somebody who gonna open up a book and say, "Oh, I saw in '98, I saw what you did in 2021. You lied to your job so that you didn't have to go to work." Is that what you think? No, it's not what it's saying. What it's saying to you is that you're going to always give an account. Whatever is going on with you internally, you give an account because you're going to experience it externally. That's by way of your body. That's by way of your thoughts, by way of your feelings, by way of your circumstances. You can't escape you. You're going to always see you being reflected back to you. And it comes down to you don't love yourself enough, friend. You don't think you deserve a great life. You don't think it's just this easy. It's just saying, this is what my life will be now. I won't settle for anything less. Like the beauty of life, the beauty of life. Like you just won't accept it. There's this affinity for just going back and telling an old story, and it's complicated, and I can't do this because I ain't got enough money. Like if I just get this amount of money, if I just get this number, is this number, that's the number. And I never ain't quite there. As soon as I start making money, and then something else I got to spend on that. It's a story. It's a story. It's a story, and it's a shitty one at that, that you keep telling yourself. And I'm only suggesting to you that what happens if from this day forward, you just put that down. You say, I just won't entertain any more pitiful stories about myself. From this day forward, I won't entertain any more. I won't even allow it. It can come up, but I'm not going to allow it in my house. Not here. Like, nope. Nope. Only the best for me. This the way my life is going from now on. I won't stay sick. I won't stay broke. I won't be alone unless you want to be. See how that works? It's whatever you want. I won't struggle anymore. I've told that story enough. I'm not going to tell any more stories about how bad the world is. I'm not going to talk about how bad the world has been. I want to take my attention off the world for a little bit. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Some of y'all need to just, I'm going to say for a good 3 years, don't read no more history. Just don't. I ain't saying not ever. I'm saying for a good 3 years, just shelve it for a little bit. Unless it's history that's about power, that's about strength, vitality, about miracles, about wonderful possibilities, just leave it. Just leave it. Just leave it. You ain't doing yourself, you ain't helping yourself in any kind of way. You're not. How you gonna help yourself by telling the story of doom and gloom? What do you get from that? I'm only saying it as a suggestion. You've been doing it one way. What happens if you try to do it another way? If unhappy is a sign that change is needed, make a change. You don't have to ask nobody what you should do about a job that you hate. Leave. Well, it's not that simple. It is. Well, Rook, I need a plan. We'll put a plan together. Plan to leave. That's what you do. You put your eye on the solution. What are we talking about here, people? Yeah. You don't make the situation greater than you are. Well, I just can't. Not in this economy, and not in. These are stories, people. These are stories. You have to catch yourself. This is your responsibility. Catch yourself in the stories that you tell. I think it was Cat Williams says you have an unhealthy alliance to losers. Sometimes the losers are your own thoughts, or the thoughts at least that you entertain, right? Like, just release it. If it's something that comes up that you don't like, release it. Just don't accept it. Is that simple? Does that sound simple enough? What are we gonna do? I think that's the question. That's what I asked myself. What are you gonna do? I asked myself, I was like, what are you gonna do? 2 years ago, what are you gonna do? You gonna still? You can't live like this. You do know that, right? Then I start thinking of ways that I could. Like, well, maybe nope, nope. And this is why life becomes so delicious. Because it's like your soul will step in and say, watch this. And you will have some experience that will just knock you off your feet. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a not so good way. Why does that happen? Why do you think we have like beautiful encounters? You ever thought about that? Like, why do you ever met somebody on a train or a plane or at a store and they seem like a unicorn? Like, oh my God. Like the experience with them could have been very brief. You didn't have a lot of deep conversation with them, but it just was like you felt amazing. And you thought about them after you went your separate ways. Now, in some instance, people start looking for them. They'll come to Twitter like, yo, I met somebody, like, damn, y'all, Twitter help me find so and so. It's like, I need to meet this person again. I need to see them. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you get like a joyous feeling, right? When you see children, I mean, if you're not dead inside, right? You see children playing or you hear the laughter of a baby. What is that feeling? What is it? You ever thought about that? The grandeur of life. It's like the soul will not, the soul is, life is about living, right? So everything is about continuation. And it's to me, it's like your spirit is always, and even in the midst of or the depths of your despair, it's like your spirit is saying to you, live. It's like a reminder of life. It's like, I'm gonna put this across your screen right now, right? I'm putting this across because you've lost sight of how wonderful and beautiful everything is. So I'm gonna have you feel this thing again so that you remember. And the whole intention is to offer you a new possibility. It's a suggestion that's being made. The suggestion is saying, choose this instead. Choose this instead. Choose this instead. Most of us, many of us, what do? No, can't be that good. It's got to be something wrong. Nope, can't trust it. Yeah, they probably was crazy. You'd make up stuff. Yeah, that person was nice to me. They probably was a psychopath. They probably was a serial killer. Live. Everything is reminding you to live. Everything is saying, turn your attention from the problem back to yourself. Turn your attention from the world and their misery and turn it back to you and the wonder of life. It says, turn from hell, leave it behind, go here. You the one. How do you know that you the one? How do you know? Because you see it. They don't. You hear it. They don't. That's it. It's, it should be so simple. You're the one because you can hear the call. You can hear, you have the desire for a greater life. Something moves you. The fact that this is, what is this? Thanksgiving? Well, it's the day after. And this is what you're listening to. Why? Because you're different. It's a matter of you accepting that. I will accept that I'm different. I will accept that I'm here to do something different. I will accept that I'm not here. I'm not here to preserve the old. That's not what I'm here to do. Somebody is. Let them do that. Don't argue with people. Some people are here to preserve the old. That's good for them. Wonderful. Right? I'm here to usher in the new. And sometimes that will involve you creating a bubble around yourself, at least for a certain period of time. Sometimes that will involve you isolating yourself from the life that you know, from the people that you know, from the family that you have. But sometimes for just at least for a period of time. Sometimes you end up venturing back. Sometimes you don't. You just create something entirely new. It's the boldness. Like that's what's being ask of you. It's like you are growing. It's like the inner you, the higher you is saying to you is drawing forth boldness and courage, confidence. This this is what's required to get you there. This lock solely into who you are, the desires that come up for you. Why do you have the visions? Why do you have it? What do you think that you're seeing it for? For play? Why do you resonate with certain stories? Why do you come alive when you see people live in a certain way, see people move in a certain way? Why does it inspire you? Why does it motivate you? Seems like there's some resonance. Like is recognizing itself. Something in you is recognizing yourself in that thing. That's all it is. That's the beauty of love. Experiencing God through another, experiencing yourself through another. You see yourself in them. That's why I feel so magical, because nobody feels better to you than you. That's why when you find the one, it's heaven. It's like, oh my God, where did this person come from? That's you experiencing you. And the closer you get to you, like you will meet people that do, they resonate. You vibe with them. But when you get one that's the closest to you, that's in vibrational sync with you, that's a frequency match. Do you believe that's possible? I guess that's the question I have for you. Do you believe it's possible? Do you believe it's possible that you could live an amazing life? Do you believe it's possible that you could actually have a fulfilling relationship? Do you believe it's possible to do meaningful work, work that you enjoy, work that makes you come alive and be paid very well for it? Do you believe that? It's new possibilities you got to bring in. I'm making suggestions. That's all I'm doing. It's up to you to decide whether yes, that's a suggestion that I like, or no, I don't know. Seems like a lot of work. If it was that easy, everybody would do it. First of all, that's so stupid. I hate that saying. If it was easy, everybody would do it. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. It's easy to go online and learn any skill right now. Is everybody doing it? No. And it's easy. All you have to do, you got a phone. You pick your phone up and you decide, I want to learn about being a chef. I want to learn about coding. I want to learn about a mechanic. I want to learn about building houses. You can literally learn any damn thing. It's easy, but is everybody doing it? No. So I don't want to hear about that. That's a dumb saying to me. It's easy, everybody would do it. No, no. You make a choice. People do what they choose to do because they choose to do it. You could say that's easy, but it's just a choice. Everything's a choice. If you stay stuck, if you leave 2025 and you take all this shit that you've been dealing with into the new year, that'll be a choice. It's a choice. If you stay stuck, if you even believe that you stuck, choice. If you believe that you limitless, choice. If you believe that the time is now, there's no more waiting. If you believe you're ready, choice. You see where we're going here? Everything's a choice. Everything's a choice. So, what was the title of this? Miserable something and something and something. I don't remember. It was about being unhappy, though. That's the moral of the story. Are you happy? Do you want to be happy? Because you might not find it necessary. Some people don't find it necessary. I didn't think it was necessary at one point to have a joyful life, to just, you know, I thought I could just prove that I could be in unfavorable circumstances and prove that I could endure it. And I did it. I proved that I could. Then I just decided I don't have to. I don't have to live like that anymore. I'm not gonna do it. No. I'm not gonna let nobody else tell me what's the right way to live, what's the right way to do relationships, what's the right way to do marriages. Like this the way you do it. Like y'all not gonna tell me shit because you don't know. It'd be one thing if you had some what is it called? Proof of work. You got no proof. No, you got proof of what don't work. That's what you got proof of. Listening to people who are unhealthy, who are overweight, who are popping pills every day, who are working jobs that they hate, struggling, barely making ends meet, in unfulfilling relationships with people they strongly dislike. D- this is who you're gonna take your advice from? This is who you're gonna listen to? I guess. Happy is just a feeling when you are grateful, joyfully change the game. Yeah,
I can go. I mean, um, yeah, I get it. I get it. It's more of a mindset. When I think of happy, I think of more of a mindset versus a feeling, right? Because a feeling is fleeting, right? Happy, sad, angry, I got it. But when I think of happy, I'm thinking of a state of mind, and we all know what it is. You can check your feeling. How do you feel on a day-to-day basis? Do you struggle with getting through days? Are you constantly trying to convince yourself why you should be grateful for things and it doesn't come natural to you? Because really that should just be natural. Like, oh man, this is just amazing. I'm just grateful for this and that. You gotta coach yourself through, well, I shouldn't complain about this because I do got a job. I shouldn't complain. Like the misery is what I'm referring to. That people are not happy. They're not happy in mind. They're not happy living the script that somebody else has given them, but they won't create a new one. That's what I'm referring to. I'm referring to sticking to um sometimes it's always this idea of we're fighting other people, like other people are against us and don't understand us, and it's what our parents taught us and the government and the church and the school and all this. I think that the focus should be more though now on your mind. You have put some stringent bars, like some conditions, that's the word, on how life is supposed to go that you have to rewrite. You got some things that you've defined. This is what a good woman is. This is what a good man is. I want to talk about the curse of being a good woman too later. I'm gonna do a video on it. The curse of being a kept woman. Hmm. Anyway, not tonight. But you got like real talk. Really, what was I going with it? I lost my thought. I don't know. It'll come back to me. It doesn't matter. The point is, are you satisfied? That's it. Back to whoever commented on, like, she's constantly, and I think it was a young lady, constantly having more desire. Desires don't stop. Desires are not supposed to stop. Desires are simply power seeking expression through you, God seeking expression through you. That's something that is wants to be expressed through you. So the desires don't stop. They often shift. This, that, or the other. And then sometimes you desire something, and by the then you experience it, and you're like, no, actually, I don't like that. Actually, I don't. Yeah, no, yeah. I wanted to live in the city. Went to the city. No, actually, no. I want to live in the country. Get to the country. Yeah, this was cool, but yeah, no, this ain't gonna work. Desires shift all the time based on where you are. I think there are some core things though. I'm talking to the people who've been in this game for a little bit. Like you've been 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years with a deep, deep, deep desire to live a different life, a deep desire to follow a dream, to follow, maybe purpose is your word, something that has spoken to you for a long time and you've been fighting through, you've been dealing with life and figuring out how to juggle this and that and making excuses for why it hasn't been time yet and why sooner or later this is, I'm really kind of talking to those people. Don't let life pass you by. That's what I just decided. I ain't gonna let life pass me by. I'm getting mines. I don't care. And I'm bulldozing through anything and anybody. Like, no more apologies. You ain't really establishing yourself when you got to constantly feel the need to explain yourself. Why are you explaining yourself? Just move. This is what I need to do for myself right now. Even if I do explain it, you ain't gonna get it, or you ain't gonna like it, or you ain't gonna understand it. So what the hell am I explaining myself for? I ain't explaining myself. This is what it is now. You get in where you fit in. I'm no longer fitting in with everybody else stuff. Now you got to get in where you fit in with me. Hmm. Yeah. So, uh, I've got to do this for 7 Oh, okay, I read that. So, what do you want, good people? I guess that's what that'll be our moral of the story. Question of the day, question of the night. What is it that you want? Are you gonna get it or aren't you? Are you capable or aren't you? Is it you or ain't it? Are you one of them or aren't you? Everybody like not like us, not like us. Like nigga, it should be not like them. I'm not like them. They can settle, I can't. They can go without. Like some of the people that we listen to and we talk to, they're going to be saying the same thing next year and the year after that, 5 years, 10 years, they will be saying the exact same thing. And the biggest people, there's anybody who's under 35, I'll say 35, 30, we'll say 35. You start to notice this shift, right? Something happens to your circle where the people you start out with folks like kind of in your 20s, and maybe if it's not everybody, but you got a group of folks who got big ideas about how they want to live. They got goals and things that they want to work on and how they want to do certain things. And you see this waning off. Like you see, it's like a it's like a drop off. As you coast and get to like late 20s, people start to fall off one by one, one by one. And then psychologically, by the time you cross 30, the losers of the world have convinced people that that's it. Like you're over the hill now. Like all of your best days are behind you. This is what people lead you to believe. And what you start noticing right around that 33, 34, 35 is that people lose their steam. That even those who were with you at one point who really were inspired to live different, they starting to talk like the others. They starting to talk more about what's wrong with the world, and there's no good outlook on the future, and the president, like they immersed in what isn't versus what is. And it's going to be your responsibility not to get swallowed up with these people. It's going to be your responsibility to really just slam the hammer like, oh my God. oh snap. Yeah, I have to get out now. I gotta go now. I can't go out like this. And that has been one of the things that drove me, honestly. Every time I saw evidence of somebody, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, I cannot. Okay, no, I can't do that. No. When one of my friends started talking about aching body and aching knees and this going wrong, I was like, oh my God, like no, I'm not getting worse. I'm not getting worse as time goes by. That's not what's happening. My body is not falling apart. I don't know. When I started listening to certain, folks who were in marriage, they already been married. Let's say they got married in their 20s, and it's like, oh, well, you just wait. Why is it you just wait is never wait on some good shit? It's always wait on some bad shit. You gonna see. You just wait. You early in there. You gonna see. And I was like, oh, okay, I can't live like that. Like, what is it that you gonna say? I ain't gonna live like that. I'm not living like y'all. I'm not. I don't give a damn what the story is. I don't care how similar you think we are. I'm not living like that. No. And I'm only gonna surround myself, even if I only surround it in my mind. If I gotta make it up, if I gotta make up, you should make up a circle online within your own timeline with people that you're following that mirrors your ideal life, ideal city. Who is that? What's good with you? right? Like really mirroring your ideal life. What does it look like? People in love, okay. People healthy, people in shape, people looking nice. Is it nice communities? Is it nice? Like what is your ideal life? Why is your timeline full of all of what you don't want? You following people who they destroying this and that, they cheating, they living foul, they doing wicked shit, they always sick, something going wrong, they complaining about their back and their neck and they like, golly, like why? No, I'm following the 70, 80, 90, 100-year olds. That's what my most of I post on IG, what you see me reposting, that's what you see. That's what I post nonstop. I don't be up there a lot, but when I am up there, that's what I'm posting because that's who I follow. They getting it. In the gym, 65, looking fly as hell, 75, fly as hell, 85, 100 doing marathons, 95 doing yoga. That's the world for me. I don't know this other stuff that everybody is doing. That's my reality. I'm going to saturate my mind with what I want. I'm going to saturate my mind with what I want to see. I'm saturated to the point where there's nothing else. It's like normal. You can't even give me like, can you believe that so and so did that? No. I mean, yeah, I can actually. Of course, it's my normal. People being healthy. Let me tell you something. If you are over, I don't know, maybe is it maybe 40, maybe over 40, and you don't take any prescription drugs, people will look at you like you are a unicorn. That's how prevalent it is. Like it's so common for people to be popping pills for something. What? What the hell would I be popping pills for? What the hell? Like, like what? A friend of mine went and had his blood pressure taken. I think he must have been getting a procedure or something done at the dentist. So I'm like, why are they taking blood pressure? But I think he was getting a procedure done. His blood pressure was so good, and he was boy 55, 60, something like that. They called all the nurses from the front and was like, "You got to come and see this." Like that's how rare it was for him to have a normal blood pressure. That's insane to me. That's insane to me. That's normal. That's all I know. I don't that's what I saturate. That's what I make normal for me. That's what you have to do. And the obligation, like you ain't obligated to be nowhere and with nobody. Now, if you feel obligated, because that's your choice. It don't matter what time of year it is. You ain't got to be nowhere unless you want to be there. If you don't want to be there, don't go unless you a minor. And I'm not talking to any minors, so you can go wherever you want to go. Hell, you can sit in the car. You ain't never done that. You ain't never been somewhere you didn't want to be so bad. You just had to go sit in the car. I can tell you some stories. It's imperative 1000%. It's imperative to surround yourself with the faith you're striving to cultivate and remain rooted in, especially if that's totally out of the norm for you. I made up mentors. Okay, that's what the beauty of technology is. That's why I don't spend time arguing about what's wrong with this or that. I focus on what's right with it. Whether it was an author, if it was an author that I could rock with, that became quote unquote my mentor. I got into that. That was the text. That was the whatever. It was somebody online that I was like, yo, this is it. I remember the first person I saw, who was it? And I was like, I knew this shit was possible. Like I knew it. They were into like health and herbs and it was working for themselves. And I'm like, I knew it was possible to do this shit and do it your way. I knew it. Yeah, that's what you do. I ain't got no examples. What example? That is no examples of anybody doing what I'm doing. There is none. Zero. Who cares? Who cares? You know too much now. You got access to too much now. They have point of view. I done stumbled onto point of view YouTube and I've been having a ball. People that just, it is one channel. Dang, I told a group, but I don't remember the name of it. It's a channel that has gone to all of the most amazing cities and countries, and they're giving you point of view videos where you can be like it's you walking through and experiencing the cities and the towns and the this and the that. Man, you could go crazy in your imaginative. Like, just leave this world, man. Leave it behind completely. I will live an exceptional life. I don't have to know the details. I don't have to know the know how. I will not struggle for money. I will not have to worry about money. I will not be stressed out about money. I will go and buy what I want without even thinking about a price. Let me share this video, this post that somebody made. They got a couple people riled up. And it can only get people riled up who, again, are unhappy. See, when something riles you up, it's for a reason. It'd be funny when people think that I'm trying to trigger them. Even though I say I trigger people, because I do, I ain't doing it on purpose. I ain't doing it on purpose. You triggering yourself. However, when light comes through, light got a way of shining on all the dark. I got a way of making your demons come out. That's just what light does by default. My bad or your bad, whatever one. So this young lady said, I quit my 9 to 5 because I constantly have money coming in from several sources. I don't check price tags anymore or add up my total like I used to. I never have to worry about running out of money because it's an endless source for me. Unexpected checks and deposits are my normal. All because I changed my money mindset 2 years ago. And now I'm thriving financially every single day. Shout out to Highest Pedestal. You see what I'm saying? It was a choice that was made. And it was before she got here, before she had evidence, before she had the proof. It was just a choice that I'm changing my mind about this. Somebody asked me what I do. I was like, well, I do a lot of things. Help people transform their health, stir souls, open hearts. Then I was like, nah, what is it? What would I say? What would I, if a combination of all this health and spiritual and mindset, but what is it? What is it that I'm really doing? I was like, I know, I got it. I help you get what you want. I help people get what they want by changing their mind. That's it. Even with the reversing illness, how do we do it? What is really happening? When we start talking about plant foods and plant medicine and detoxing the body, what has to happen? Change of mind. We start talking about love and relationships, living an exceptional life, working for yourself, learning or earning money in unconventional ways. What has to happen? Change of mind. That's all we doing. Change your mind. If you like your mind so much, keep it. Just know when you keep the old mind, you keep the old life. When the Bible says you cannot put new wine in old bottles, you, you, you want the new life with the old mind? You want a new life with the old awareness? Not happening. Not happening. If it could happen, it would already happen by now. This is what I discovered about church people when I was deeply, deeply, deeply troubled by why church people suffered so much. Why I'd seen it firsthand. And I'm like, I ain't talking about people who have step. I'm like, I know genuine people. Hell, I'm like, think about the grandmas, the aunties. Why? How could you be in the midst of this and know these things and pray and da 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 for all these years and suffer so consistently? The ideas is the new wine, right? The old bottle is the old mind. Trying to put the new wine in the old bottles don't work. I'm like, oh, they come to the church on Sunday to get the new wine, but it's going in the old bottles. Oh, got it. Got it. They read about a God that is all powerful, that is a provider, that is a healer, but they are aware that their awareness is on lack. Their awareness is on not having. Their awareness is on illness, and that's where they stay. Wherever they are in mind is where they stay. Got it. I didn't know that. I need to figure that out, and I figured it out. Hey, Shanice. So one can change a cancer diagnosis with the change of their mind simply by saying, I do not have cancer. Yep, they've done it. It's on record. It is. When you say I do not have it, can you stay there in that I do not have it? Or do you contradict it? Do you go back to the doctor and they say it's getting worse? Do you panic? Do you start thinking of scenarios of you getting worse and what might happen if you die? See, it's the mind at work. If you can say it and stay there, yeah, 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 it's happening. It's happening. It's happening all over the world. Dr. Joe Dispenza just posted a video of this man who had I was moved. It was a very short video, but I just was moved by it. It was a man who had cancer. I think he had prostate cancer. And he had went to the doctor and they had given him, the spiel as doctors do. And let me see if I can find it. And I'm trying to think, did he do I don't think he did the treatment. God, I wish I should have looked at it so it would refresh my memory because it was so on point what he said, right? But if you look up his Dr. Joe Dispenza's website, I mean his YouTube page, you'll see it. Here it is. I have it under my healing examples, right? Anyway, the doctor's giving a prognosis. Like the fact that people will let any of the humans tell them how long they got to live blows my mind. Like, you want to get cussed out? Yeah, you tell me some shit like that. You tell somebody that I love some shit like that, I'll cuss your ass out. And I mean it. The hell you think you are to tell somebody how long they got to live? Like, do you really think they know all there is to know about the human body? Forget spirit for a minute, just about the human body. Do you really think that they know all there is to know? They're discovering things all the time. They're doing research and uncovering things all the time. So you mean to tell me that you know enough to tell me how long I got to live? Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Okay, yeah. So it's titled From Darkness to Light. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna read the description. Ray was diagnosed with full metastatic melanoma. Doctors gave him only a few years to live. So he did do chemo, okay? Months of chemo left him weak and disoriented. And for years, he believed his days were numbered. Then he discovered Dr. Joe Dispenza's work and was introduced to a new path, one grounded in science. Ray immersed himself in daily meditations, studying Dr. Joe's books, Evolve Your Brain and You Are the Placebo. After months of consistent practice, an immense surge of energy coursed through his body, leaving him in tears of joy. That moment marked a new beginning. His cancer cleared, his PTSD symptoms disappeared, and for the first time in his life, his mind was quiet. Let me read that one again. For the first time in his life, his mind was quiet. Ooh. Today, Ray describes healing not as a fight, but as finally learning how to let go. So you got to get to the root of the thing, right? We ain't got no problem with no cancer. We ain't got no problem with anything. It's a response to something. This is why I keep putting the emphasis on. This is why I'm as passionate as I am about your mind, because I'm telling you, this is how you develop illness and disease. Just by what you focus on, just by what you accept is true. Now, he's dealing with PTSD. Well, and that makes perfect sense why he's dealing with cancer. But it was one part that he said. I think if I play it, you could hear it. I had to find this part. But what I remember in the midst of him doing the treatment, preparing to die, right? Because that's what ends up happening. People prepare to die. He was watching Doctor, what was that? It was one of the earlier, damn, what was that documentary about Dr. Joe Dispenza? I think it's called What the something, What the Bleep Do We Know? Okay. Yeah. Oh, we should do a watch party on that in the inner circle. Yeah, we're gonna watch. Let's watch this. We're watching The Matrix. We're doing a watch party of The Matrix tomorrow. So he was watching What the Bleep Do We Know, and he said it hit him. He said it hit him that what if I had the potential to end this? Oh my God. Oh, that's all. That's the only thing. Like that's the spark. It's the what if. What if I can end this? What if I don't have to be sick? What if I'm not stuck? What if I don't have to die? Right? What if this isn't an end for me? What if I don't have to be broke? What if I don't have to be alone? What if I don't have to be unloved? What if it opens the door for possibility? That's what I'm saying. That's what changes things. What cuts people off is they locked. This is the way it is. This is the way it works. You don't know every damn thing. What if you're wrong? What if life can get better? That's what changed my life. That one question. What if you're wrong? What if everything that you've been taught about health is wrong? What if what you eat impacts your health? What if how you see the world impacts how you think? What if what you've been taught about religion is wrong? What if what you've been taught about life is wrong? What nigga? What what if? I never asked that question before. I never considered it. A possibility presented itself. I could have been stubborn, as I have had a tendency to be, and just said, no, I know I'm right. Jesus is all. I could have stayed there. I had every reason to stay where I was. Had every reason to. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. That was the knocking. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If you will open, I'll come in. But you got to open. See, when possibility knocks, you got to open. When a suggestion is made for a new potential, you got to respond. You got to yield to it. If you say it's impossible, then it's impossible. And that's what's happening with, like, we don't need no cancer cure. The hell, people been curing cancer since forever. Look up Dr. Harry Hoxsey. Like, look up who's the other? Dr. What is his name? Starts with a G. Can't think of his name. It's Gerson. He's got a whole protocol. Look up Dr. Joe Dispenza. Look up like here's another thing to keep in your mind. Just because I ain't heard about it, don't mean it ain't happening. Just because I don't know about it, don't mean it ain't happening. To say things so bold, like we need a cancer cure, like what are you saying? Because you're waiting on them to confirm it. That shit's stupid. That shit's stupid. That goes for everything. You don't wait on them. There was another lady who was infertile. So they said she'd never have children. Stuff just too jacked up. It's just, told her to look into adoption. She left the doctor's office feeling defeated, cried, understandable, felt devastated. She said, then though, I said, wait a minute. See, it's that moment right there. Like it's really brief. It's that, wait a minute. What if what what if I ain't stuck? What if they don't know everything? What if it is possible to turn it around? We'll fast forward the details, but she went on to have twins, I believe. The fact that you would take anybody else's word, the fact that you would let anybody else speak death over you, to speak illness over you, to speak lack over you, that's insane. You ain't gonna tell me. If I go without it, it's because I'm choosing to go without it. It ain't because I'm lacking it. If I don't have this, it's because I'm choosing not to have it. It's not because I can't have it. No. No, you don't get to tell me. Who the hell do you think you are? And I ain't got no problem. Listen, the doctors, they play a role in this whole Matrix game. Let them do what they doing. I ain't got no beef with them. I'm just saying, you ain't about to tell me. You ain't gonna tell me jack. I'm not mad at the system. You know why? Because the people love the system. The people prop the system up. The people feed the system. Just like everybody running to get your little obesity shots and shit. I ain't mad at the drug makers. Why? Because the people want it. The people want the drugs. They want it. They don't want to know. Let me get my own gut together. Because I got the ability to produce this on my own. Let me fix that. Address that. No, I'm going to take some shit that got 50 other side effects. Fine. Give it to them. Give the people what they want. People want it. They want it. So you got to give the people what they want. I ain't mad at the drug pusher. You can't push drugs unless you got a market. You can't sell drugs unless you got a buyer. The people could turn from that if they wanted to. What do you want me to do? So, yeah, and I like this topic and I'm passionate about this topic because when it comes to cancer or any other illness, right? You could, you could, I know you're on the internet because you're up here. You could just do a little search. Examples of people healing this naturally. Hell, you can go to the AI, Chat GPT or whatever. They probably do a better job. Now they're gonna give you a warning. Now they're gonna give you a little disclaimer that this is not, approved and recommended. Whatever you want to find, you'll find. If you want evidence of loving people, you will find loving people. If you want evidence of loving relationships, you will find that. If you want evidence of healthy people, if you want evidence of people thriving, if you want evidence of people reversing illness, if you want evidence of it, you will find it. If you don't, you won't. I'm gonna look for what I want. I look for the best. I keep my eye on the best men. I don't know what this talk is that everybody talking about. Men is trash and this. I don't know. You should choose better. Why you choosing trash? Why your eye on trash? My eye on the best. Shout out to the fellas out there. Shout out. Hey, listen, I see you doing the work, that soul work, getting it in, being just amazing. Shout out. No, I keep my eye on the best. The world is full of great men. The world is full of great women, full of them, abundant. Why don't you see that? Because your attention is not on it. That's why. Everything is available. What you see is what you filter in. That's how it works. What's your filter? How do you determine what you filter in? What you put your attention on? Ta-da! Ta-da! It takes one thing to go viral, and then you start seeing more examples. If somebody get a very terrible carjacking, all of a sudden you start seeing other carjackings that happen. If the woman get mistreated at the hospital, being in labor, started seeing other examples of it. Somebody gets shot by a police officer, you see other examples of it. It works like this for everything. Will you put your attention on what you want? Is the question. Can you do it? Will you do it? I'm like for the rest of the year, like I'm just gonna dial in on what I want, what I want, what I want. What do I want for my life? I want to just focus on the best of life, all of what's going good. I don't want to hear no more bad news. I want to hear nothing else going wrong in the world, in the country, in the city. I don't want to hear nothing else terrible about relationships. I don't want to hear nothing else terrible about women, nothing else terrible about men. I want to see beautiful, beautiful. I want to see love. I want to saturate my life with that. I want to just think about me in the best case scenarios. I'm not going to let nothing slip in. Nothing. Pause. like, you understand what I'm saying? Like it's a, I'm going to have a no tolerance zone, a no tolerance policy for anything that does not speak power and love. That's it. That's the only scenario. I'm gonna realize that I'm in control of my mind and I'm in control of my thoughts. So from here on out, I'm going to control what thoughts I allow to come through. And I'm thinking best case scenario, it has to work because I said it's gonna work. The fact that I'm in the midst of this means it got to be good. I trust myself so much that I know I can't get it wrong. I know that I'm always guided and I never guide me wrong. It's this saturating, like I know for some people you don't. It's like you just all you gotta do is just decide X, Y, Z. That's true. But for some of us, we've been in the trenches for a little bit, so we feel the need a few more reps. That's fine. That's fine. No problem. Stay there. I'm gonna stay here. Like just like no tolerance. I'm gonna stay here. My God, if nothing else, I'm just gonna have so much desire, so much willingness, so much conviction that this is true for me. Nothing else. I will not move. I do not have to be in situations that I don't want to be in. I don't have to be in homes or in families that I don't want to be in. I can choose anything different for myself. And I know I'm good and I know I'm taken care of and I don't have to worry about risk. I don't have to be afraid of loss. I can't. Everything is my mind. I will start with my mind. Let's just say that. I think it's got to be every time we have these conversations, that has to be the baseline. That has to be the foundation. A exceptional outlook on yourself. Like you have to put you on the highest pedestal. No, you don't put yourself too high. Gotta knock you down. That's what mama used to tell me. God bless mama. God bless her. Like, what? Get too high, gotta knock you down. Why? 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 When Jesus said, you will do these works I do, you will do greater. What? This I know people don't be like, they be playing. Even if that's what you believe, right? You don't even be listening. These works that I've done, you will do greater. Tell me which works that you've done greater than this Jesus character. What have you done? He healed. So why wouldn't you be able to heal? Huh? What are we saying here? We're surface level. That's what it is. Like we're not really diving into like, where's my mind right now? Where's my attention? What am I focused on? What am I saying about myself? What am I feeding myself? What am I entertaining? So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I want you to get what you want. That's why I'm here. I just want you to get what you want. That's what I think makes the world a better place. That people will be happy. When you get what you want, you're happy. You get what you want, you're satisfied. When you get what you want, it's this crazy domino effect that you want to help other people get what they want. And everybody just get what they want. Well, no, everybody can't get what they want. That's stupid. Who said that? You have to start asking that. Says who, bro? Says who? Says who? Everybody can get what they want. Everybody can get what they want. In my reality, they can. I don't know about nobody else's reality. I'm talking about my reality. That's what I can. That's what I know I got control over because my mind is my reality. So I can go crazy on that. Shout out to the kids because children do this very well. This is what I love, love, love about artists. Ladies, y'all ever dated an artist? I don't think I dated an artist. Wonder what that be like. You know what I'm saying? An artist, like the one who has the ability to just speak to the soul, speak the language of the soul without many words. I mean, I know we have artists who write and who, you got the poets and the you got musicians, the writers. I got that, but you get what I'm saying. With few words, I will make you understand my soul. That's what Michelangelo said. Shout out to the artists. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah. I I have things to do. I have things to do. I have things that I have not wanted to do. This is what people call delay and a journey and divine time. And no, it's you delaying yourself. I ain't want it. I didn't want it. That's just the truth. I had desires for myself, and then when I saw how big it really was, like I was like, "Whoa, I don't want all that." Like that's a little too. I like being in my little corner over here. I like being behind the scenes, and I don't really. I'm okay on that. My spirit's like, no, no, you've already chose this. I'm like, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. So it was this little tug of war thing that kept going back and forth. And that turned into weeks and months and years. Years. Hear that? Years of tug of war. Years. So you can play this game as long as you want to play it. You can fight with yourself as long as you want to fight with yourself. At a certain point, you will say, I'm tired of fighting. No, I'm just gonna step into this. I'm gonna say yes. So that's what I'm leaving you with. Say yes. Say yes to the new life. Say yes to new possibilities. Even if you ain't ready to fully accept it, like, you know what I mean? Like, just consider the fact that maybe, damn, maybe I could. Maybe I don't have to struggle my whole life. Maybe I am worth loving no matter what I've done in the past, no matter what has happened before. Maybe whatever I do from this day forward is all that matters. Maybe I do have a little bit more control than I thought. Maybe it came to me, it keeps haunting me. It follows me in my dreams. It's in my visions while I'm awake. Even when I'm around people, I can never stay where I am because I'm always there. Maybe that's for a reason. Maybe something is calling me and I got to get there. Maybe that's why I can't find no rest. Maybe that's why I can't sleep through the night. Because it's something that keeps calling me. It's seeking me, right? And I'm seeking it, but I'm in denial of it. And I'm afraid because I don't even know how that could even be possible. Like me? And then we have buyer's remorse. Not even buyer's remorse. What's the phrase? Survivor's regret. Or is it survival's guilt? That's what it is. That you've come from the same channels, the same paths, the same families, the same schools as other people. And then you question, why was it me? Why was it me to figure that? I wonder, I was like, damn, out of all the people that I really thought was dope and amazing and smart and talented and gifted, to see where some of them they just lost their steam. I question like, how is it me? Like that's that's lack of self. That's when you don't really know who you are to even ask that question. Come on. How you ask that question, you simply have lost sight of the glory that you are. That's the only way you can ask that question. It got to be you. Who else is it gonna be? You the woman for the job. You the man for the job. It can't get done without you. It can't. It can't be said without you. No, somebody else can say the same thing, but it can't be said without you. I remember listening to that video. It was one, I think it was E.T. when I was like deep in my E.T. the hip hop preacher bag. And E.T. was like, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, some of you don't need to watch another video. You don't need to listen to another motivational nothing. It's time for you to be the one that's giving the motivation. It's time for you to step into the driver's seat. It's time for you. Like you the one. What you waiting on? It's either yes or yes. It's either yes or yes. You know why I feel so good right now, even though certain things physically still look like glimpses of the old? I feel so good right now because I'm doing life my way. That's why. Why am I happy even though I'm not satisfied with certain things, how certain things physically may appear? Because I'm doing it my way. That's what I've wanted my entire life. That's what people got a taste for. It's the taste of freedom. That's what it is. It's just, like that's what drives. That's why people are magnetized. That's why that energy is so magnetizing, because that's what people. That's the deep core desire to be free, to not restrain. Put yourself into this self-imposed prison. I can't do that because my situation is too complicated. I got kids. I don't have the money. I'm too young. I'm too old. I don't know how. That chains, putting chains on yourself instead of saying, well, what will happen if I just say that I got it? I would never get a vision. I would never get a dream without provision. I heard that. I heard that 2 years ago in my spirit. Provision has already been made. Provision has already been made. Provision is, you're worrying about the details. All you got to do is say yes. You don't have faith enough to say yes and know that all the details, baby. Come on, love. That's a no-brainer. That just happens by default. We can't get to the details because you won't say yes. You won't green light it. Only you can do that. No, you've decided I will join the others. I will join the dead who have lost all of their fire, who have no more desire for life. They're in the doom, they're in the world of doom and gloom. Maybe at some point they'll snap out of it. I don't know. But they've come to you. Yeah, you know how it is, man. It is what it is. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It is whatever I say it is. It ain't is whatever it is. It is whatever I say it is. Yeah, yeah. And I say that, no, it's not like that. This is how it's going to be from here on out. These are things I don't have to worry about anymore. I just step right. It's like it's an identity switch. Like I'm no longer the person who is just afraid and doubtful and second guessing myself. I'm just ready because I said so. I ain't do nothing more. I just said I'm ready. That's it. I'm just, you know what, damn, I'm ready. And sometimes it takes frustration. Sometimes you create, aka you manifest scenarios and families that you actually hate in order to birth that. Damn, you see how we full circled that? We did all of that and brought it right on back home. Ding. Some people may not hang around long enough to catch that, but that's okay. That's okay. The messengers, you will be in unfavorable circumstances, right, to remind you that you've created what's favorable. You cannot create, the problem cannot be created without also the solution being created. So sometimes you being around unbearable people is pushing you to remember that you are worth you are worth being around people who are bearable. Is to remind you that you are in control. It's to turn that confidence up, that self-knowing up, so that you will make a new decision. Sometimes the lesson is boundaries. Stop putting up with shit you shouldn't be putting up with. That sometimes that's all it is. Like you keep looping because it's the inner you, right? That deeper you, higher you, whatever you want to call it, still you, right? But just another aspect of you that's saying you better than that. Take control of your life. Stop letting other people run it. Stop living their script. Create your own. Stop being a follower. Lead the way. You the way shower. Some people here to follow. That's fine. That's not your problem. We talking about you. Well, everybody can't lead. Actually, everybody can. And then they may not lead other people. But if you ain't at least leading yourself, you in trouble. So everybody should at minimum be leading themselves. At minimum. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the yes. It's the yes. I hope that's what you feel. For the people who get to the point where holidays become unbearable and family becomes unbearable, it's good. It's good for you. It's a reason. It's good. The unhappiness is for a reason. And it means it's time for a change. You got to do something different. Or suffer. Let me just say that. Just that is an option. You can absolutely suffer. If you like suffering, then keep suffering. Sometimes you got to stay there. Sometimes we get addicted to suffering, so you got to stay there until it becomes so unbearable that you like, I've had enough of this shit. So maybe that's it for you. Yeah, see, you can't get it wrong. I was trying to find this post about this girl who was complaining about being an avoidant or some shit. Like, pay attention to the language you use. Don't get internet brain. When you start talking about like talking like everybody else is talking on the internet, you might have internet brain. Okay. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think I had it saved because I think it's a good lesson in storytelling, right? She said, as an avoidant, I wouldn't say I'm scared of being loved. I embrace it. Avoidant, but you embrace being in love. Sounds like a contradiction. Okay. I'm scared of enmeshment. I'm scared that I may change my mind. I'm scared that I'll stop loving you one day. I'm scared I'm going to hurt you. I'm scared that I'm going to lose myself, autonomy, and freedom. I'm scared I won't be able to just leave when I want to. I'm scared that my life belongs to you after. I'm scared that someone's going to need me and I'll let them down when I want to stop showing up. Don't like the idea of forever. Don't want to commit to anyone forever. What if I lose attraction? What if I find someone I prefer? I don't like complete integration. I want to have my own life. I like it. It's honest. I think it's honest. And I like when people are honest. Can never be wrong being honest. That's how she genuinely feels about it. Cool. My response was, I hear all that. We'll just change the story. All that shit you just said right there is a story. Just change the story. Start assuming the opposite of all of that. Just start. Things outside of you might not change immediately. Your feelings about it might not change. But just start assuming in thought the opposite of all that. I'm always loved. I'm always free. I'm always fearless. I trust myself completely. So you got to worry about picking the wrong person when you trust yourself. You ain't got to worry about something like, why do you want people want to own people and just strap them in? Like, hey, if you get to a point to where this is no longer working, then we go our separate ways. Well, why is that bad? I can't get it wrong. I can't get it wrong. I love that. That's one of my favorite mantras right there for myself. I can't get it wrong. That eases the decision making. If I can't get it wrong, then go. That's what do you like? Is this what we're going with? It's about trusting yourself. We keep coming back to that. Trusting yourself. Or I said, you can live in your own mental hell forever. And so that's what I'll leave you with. Stay in hell or leave it. Stay in doubt or leave it. Stay second guessing or leave it. Stay miserable and being unloved and leave it. It's the unloved part that speaks most to me, I think, because I now understand how everything stems back to that. Everything stems back to that whole idea of being unloved, and it starts with yourself. And so when you don't feel loved, right, it's because you don't love yourself. And when you don't love yourself, you make poor decisions, you make poor choices, you choose people who are not truly in alignment with you. I don't know, they kind of are though, because you chose them, but you get what I'm saying. You're either going to make a different choice or you're going to suffer. Either way works. You just got to choose. All right, good people. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Peace.